so probably not gonna miss too much, even if you're not joining the live show. But yeah, obviously you miss out on asking the questions, but yeah, just waiting a few more minutes here. I see the first few regulars popping up in the stream, so I'm really happy to see you guys. Also, you can see on this side there's the chat, so you will also like be here. So be nice to each other, of course. Yeah. It's now just a few more minutes till we start the thing. So as you can see, I'm not a professional in any of the streaming, but we try to make it work for everyone. So if there are any hiccups, just I hope you can look past by it and we'll find something cool for everyone. So I already see Marius here, Paolo, Francisco, Martin as well. Thank you for moderating the chat, even though I don't know how to get you what status, but we're just gonna wing it from here, I guess. So just gonna check how many people here. We're like 20-ish. Yeah, no worries, man. It's all maybe I can start from the. I just sent you a WhatsApp message. Yeah. So Martin, I can either check for WhatsApp messages or focus on the stream. You decide what's the best thing to do here. Yeah. I think it's gonna be alright, dude. Thank you for sharing the link, Marius. Just, I mean, I try to do as much as promotion as I can, but mod user. So I could just try this mod, and then like this. Thanks, man. See. Teamwork makes the dream work. So we are now 5 minutes into the stream. I guess people are still joining, but I think it's okay to start right now. You guys ready to start the stream? Hearing the app for like 2 hours now. Yeah, I think you are mod now. It should be working. Just don't know why the chat is not updating. I guess I need to open it like this. It is working, yeah. Okay, then I think it's go time, right? So again, welcome to the coach night. Prior to the stream, we had our contest last year, and last year has been kind of rough with like the rain and stuff. So we decided we need to do something for the people competing this year to make up for it. And we had like last year we had like workshops in Brandenburg that people could join to help with their runs and their performance, and not only like the skating side of parts, but also how to really make the most of the event, because I mean, let's face it, traveling is very expensive, and for most it's like once in a lifetime maybe even to come here, and you need some guidance to maneuver in an event like this with that size. So yeah, that's also like a big part in like what we teach in the workshops, how to stay calm, deal with stage fright and all that jazz. But this year we weren't able to do like a lot of workshops, so we decided why not just do a live stream. The running order lottery has always been a blast for everyone, and maybe this is a good way to help people also with their runs and convey some knowledge. I know there are a lot of cool YouTube channels and content creators on Instagram and all that good jazz that try to teach and try to encourage and try to make people work. Yeah, and we can see it in the results as well. Competitors who are part of teams and not just teams, but also like gather in crews and try to do things together. Those are the ones that probably improve the most. So yeah, why not just try to reach out and help you guys along with the event and try to make it work. Yeah, nice shirt, thanks. Yeah, that's like, I think that's like a unique prototype Christian gifted me last year, which is really cool. I'm really proud to get it, and this was the perfect time to like first time wear it, I guess. So before we dive into the presentation, I have a whole lot. I mean, maybe you've seen the social media post. We have a couple of things we want to talk about today. I'm trying to decide whether to start really with like the contest basics in terms of like the rules and contest structure, or do a more detailed deep dive into the rules changes and like run analysis. And I will do it, or I will decide based on your feedback. So if you want to see something, want to discuss something, or want to have more information, feel free to type it in chat and I will try to follow it to the best of my abilities. We have a couple of things also that really excite me today. We're gonna do live scoring and we're gonna do a run analysis, which means we are scoring a run or several runs of the last year together live on stream, so people know what to look for and also get a feel for it, how to be it on this side of the table judging runs, so everybody gets a better understanding not only for themselves but also like the whole community and the whole event side. And yeah, we will do this after the presentation. And there are the balance updates, of course, which are the most important for the competitive side of things. So yeah, but more on that later. Gonna start here with the presentation in a few more minutes with the bare bone basics. So for the seasoned veterans among you, it's probably gonna be a slow start because most of that is common knowledge, but every year we have new competitors. And yeah, if you decide to do the long travel, I personally think it's a good thing to really know what you're up to and what is asked of you in terms of competition, so that, I mean, basically everybody has the different things of what they like and what they want to see in others, but we have decided as a community what we want to see at the World's Freestyle in the most competitive runs. And it would be a shame if you come and maybe have the wrong understanding or a different understanding of what we want to see and what we want to encourage. And this is a way to prevent that. And also, obviously, it helps with like planning the runs for people that are interested in a more competitive skating. And also be transparent. That's the most important thing, I guess, because with every year that I'm part of, like not just the Worlds but also like the Euros and Paderborn and all the other skateboarding contests, there's always been a lot of like question marks, at least in terms of why is someone placing better than other people. And I think this way we can show that while the system isn't perfect, obviously it's like the second rendition, we have this now, but give you a feel for the data and also like show how we go about it, like using the app and what type of points we are scoring, and also that we are discussing the scores that come up on the finals. That we find an internal solution to whether the points we collected are valid or not. So yeah, just wanted to give a transparent look behind the scenes, and also like help out the skaters to compete, because every year, while we excessively talk about like the rules and stuff, people have skating better and better with every contest. I mean, obviously there's a natural progression there with like in terms of like stage fright and strategy and all that stuff. But knowledge is a big part, and I hope I can help out you guys. So before we start, are there any questions right off the top you guys have before we go into the presentation? Yeah, transparency is so important, right, David? Because imagine if you are traveling for like 12 hours, like flying there, or like by a car, spending a good chunk of money on your stay and also for the event and stuff, and then maybe be caught off guard by some rules you aren't aware of, or some infrastructure that isn't there, like how's the contest floor, how is the timetable, how long are the runs, so like all the important logistics. I mean, obviously a lot of seasoned competitors know how the cookie crumbles, so to say, but yeah, I think it's important to present that and have a way to interact with that. Monday is the last day of registrations, correct? People need to know. Yeah, I mean, we had several posts about like the deadline for registration, so if you haven't registered, Monday is your last chance to do it. We have a competition limit this year for like 100 people, and if you followed the lineup on our website, you can see we already surpassed the limit with like, I think we are like 112 competitors right now, which is already pushing what we can achieve. I mean, obviously a few people always tend to drop out right before the contest, so if you have not registered and decide you want to register, you have till Monday, and this deadline is binding, so yeah. Didn't want to say it like this, but this is certainly true, David. We are skaters, of course. Everything is a little unorganized, and to put it lovingly, I mean, that's why we skate. It's a way of living, and it's not only a way of living, but also a mindset, of course, and being a little more up to your own speed is the thing, surely. But I mean, you can take a look at the lineup. We have like over 100 competitors out of 20 countries. So without deadlines and softly enforcing them, there's no way to do it justice. Yeah, also the camping. We can also talk about the camping. I haven't like put it in the presentation, but we can also like before we start the presentation talk a little about the camping. Every competitor that joins the World Freestyle Skateboarding Championships is allowed to camp at our sites, and can bring a partner as well. This is a way to cope with like cost. Obviously it's difficult for people coming by plane to bring a tent, but we will just write us an email and we will figure something out with the camping. I think it's a good way to like really get to know each other, because most times people come from all over the world just for a few days, and I mean, honestly, you're focused on your runs, like you are a little anxious and obviously also excited, and then your run is over, and then it's getting later and later, and everybody is still in the mode for competition, and then at like, I don't know, 8 o'clock or something, the competition is over, and then it's already dark, and people go find something to eat and go out, and how much time are you really spending with each other? And the camping is a way to not only cut down on cost, but also like prevent people going out in the city and then basically not hang around, right? And hanging around is like the best part anyway, so yeah. I mean, last year about like half of the competitors camped at the event, and this year is no different. So we have like 50, 60-ish competitors who camp at the site, and you're always welcome to come. Even if you want like a hotel or something, you can still be around at the campsite, obviously. Yeah, actually sleep before the contest, yeah. I mean, if you're out for like coming in first, right? You want to have like good sleep, good food, and all that stuff. And obviously, camping isn't the best thing you could do. But trust me, I've spent a lot of time last year like building up the stage and being up at night and in the early mornings and skating myself. And it's really something special if you go to the tent and hear your freestyle buddies still like chat and have deep talk and also misbehave, obviously. And this is really something special. Like people you spend time typing in like Instagram and stuff, and then having them actually around, and this gives you the energy to keep on going. Obviously, people are tired and have cramps and ate terrible the whole day, but trust me, the energy is there, and you will have a good time. Yeah, camping for the win for sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, certainly. Some people have their ritual rites, and skaters aren't necessarily among the most common people. So I'm not surprised that they have special rituals or requirements to perform to their best. I'm also always super tired and exhausted and anxious and all that, but man, if you are like on the contest floor and then look to the left and there all your friends are there and people you've been following for so long, and then you look to the right and there's like the beautiful Beetsee, like the body of water that we have there. Man, if not sleeping is all I need to do for that, that's so fucking worth it, man. Sorry. I'm already 20 minutes in and yapping forever. I guess we should start with the presentation because we have a lot of things still to go through. So, gonna boot up my presentation here. Just a second. Can you guys see everything, like the screen and stuff? Yep, all great. Good. I'm already running late, but you guys know me by now, so I hope we can make it through. And also like to the both of the surprise or the 3 surprise guests we have tonight. If stuff is running late, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get it all together. This is the first time I'm doing this, but yeah, we'll just go by there. So what we are going to do today is the contest structure, meaning how long are the runs, how many rounds, divisions, and all that good jazz. Then we have the rule system, which is important that we go over the scoring criteria so everybody is on the same page. What we mean by area of use, run composition, and all that stuff. Then we go through the data. I think even if we are now in more troubling political times, I think data is still key. And before we go through changes and anything we want to discuss, I think it's really important to look at the data and have a good vision about what we are actually working with. Because if you ask people right off the bat, who do you think has the highest skill level? Is it the pros? Is it the amps? Is it the masters? I think you will get different answers. At least I have gotten a lot of different, sometimes even surprising answers. So looking at the actual data is, I think, is key to also like better understand it. Then we have keynote speeches, which is really super exciting. I asked some seasoned competitors to share some wisdom with upcoming talent and everybody that's interested, and I'm super grateful that they provided a video for sharing their wisdom. Then we have live scoring, which is probably the most exciting part. I'm curious how this will work out, but we will show you guys the app we are working with, and we will have 2 other judges tonight with us that score the runs, so you guys can see how it is on our side, like seeing runs back to back to back and make quick decisions on whether this was the best thing you ever saw or it's like the worst thing ever. And yeah, this is probably the most important thing to realize. It's, you know, it's not like a cooking recipe. You can't see, okay, you take your butter, you take your salt and whatever, and then you have the perfect cake every time. Judging is really, I mean, obviously you need the technical information. You also need to have a good eye for the performance at hand, but especially freestyle is like a breathing thing and not fixed in time. You can't just count the goals like you can do in soccer, right? So it's definitely a team effort for sure. And obviously viewer questions, which brings me to the next slide. At any point in the stream, this is a thing for you. So if you have questions, please ask them. This is the time now. We now have the time to do it. We have the resources, the data, and we can go through anything you like. If this ends up in just talking 4 hours about Walk the Dogs, be my guest. This is the time now. So please ask the questions you have. No matter how maybe foolish it seems or how nerdy or whatever, please ask them. This is for you. We go over to the first thing on the agenda. It's the contest structure. So the World Freestyle Skateboarding Championship is an open championship. I don't know how much you guys are into like sports at all. I mean, it's pretty serious sports at this point if you ask me. So what it means in open championship in difference to like a closed one or like an invitational only is that everybody can register no matter if they have the experience or if they are like coming from a different nation, or yeah, there's no, if they have prior contests or if they skate one contest once a year, everybody can join, which is obviously great because we want to be as inclusive for newcomers as well as for people of all ages and all genders and all skill levels. So yeah, it's open, obviously. We have no access requirements. If the contest keeps on growing like this, I mean, this year you also see a competitor limit of like 100 people. I personally hope that we come to enough resources and enough time that we never have to like actually make hard decisions on who's allowed to come and who's not allowed to come. Right now we have a set of 100 competitors. As a rule of thumb, 10 competitors take 1 hour of competition time. So if you have 100 people, that's 10 hours of competition. I mean, it's fairly clear why at a certain point there needs to be a cutoff time. Kilian asks, with judging, are tricks judged individually? Yes and no. A little later we will talk about the criteria coming right up after the competition structure. tricks are judged individually on a technical level. So if you do a kickflip, if you do a carousel, if you do a coconut wheel spin, or whatever piece of trick you're doing, this is scored individual on a scale from 0 to 10. And your overall performance, like the what's it called, the aesthetics, are also scored in their own criteria, but you will see them a little later. For example, don't mind if I call you out here. Kilian is also a seasoned pro that's spent some time outside of the competitions and is now had, I think it's Tuscan, right? Tuscan Thunderdome was the first competition you did right now. So you see a lot of people come back even if they are out of the loop for a little bit, and this is exactly the reason why we are doing it, to help people understand the system and fit their pieces. I mean, there's like what's it called, like two sides of the coin. Having like a set system, people tend to fit their runs to the system, which takes away some of the beauty and possibilities we have in freestyle, which is sad. Yeah, but you need to have like some structure and some criteria to really figure out what kind of performance the competitor has shown and what you want to enforce. Access criteria, one of the access criteria we introduced this year was the skill level, meaning last year everybody was free to decide which division they are skating in, which is a mixed blade. I mean, freestyle is a small community all across the world, and basically most people are aware of where everybody is in terms of skill levels, and this way, for this year, the judging committee, like me, Vukash, and Christian Heise, the event organizer, decided on a few close calls, whether they should move up or down a division, and so far everything has been fine. Like, it turned out amazing. People, we get into what's it called, like discussions with people, and could say, hey, for most people, we could say, see, these are the things you're doing great, and you can move up a division, man. Like, imagine being at this, having a soccer team and winning a cup, and then deciding not to move up the next division. That would be quite strange. And I'm really thankful that most of you guys, what's it called again? Like, took the advice or the decision we had to heart and tried to reach for something higher instead of sandbanging or picking the safest option. So I'm really thankful for that you guys followed our lead, and I think this will also not only lead to a better performance for you, but also make it more exciting, make it more balanced, more fair, and make it more exciting for our visitors as well. What people do influences the judging system, and the judging system is what people, it's what's it called, like, it lives off each other. Each year we look at the data and see where we at, what have people brought to the table, where do we want this? Sorry, haven't talked English in quite a while, but I hope you guys don't mind. Where we want to take things, and what do we want to encourage, and also, yeah, see, the youngest, Marius, that's the thing. The youngest people of us will have the biggest heart, and if we make a tough decision like moving people up and down divisions, it's all good, man. I'm really thankful that you guys trust us and follow our lead. Another access criteria this year was the nation quote. So if you take a look at the lineup, we have like, I think 40 German skaters, competitors. This year we didn't pull any restrictions. I don't know how things will move forward. For right now, this could be an access criteria, but right now we basically had everyone that didn't miss a deadline was able to join the event. So yeah, super good. Which brings us, how many people are registered right now? Which are 34 amateurs, which is quite a lot. I mean, that's the bread and butter of our community, right? The amateur division is probably the most amount of people we have, and it's also like the biggest what's it called? They're like people that want to move things forward, and yeah, I think in a few more years we have more amateurs joining the pro division and or grow into the masters division with age like me, for example, only 4 more years. So yeah, we have 8 kids this year, which is great. Last year we had 5, and kids are the future amateurs, and the future amateurs are the future pros. So probably one of the most important division we have. Then we have the masters divisions, which is, I mean, if you look at other sports, like imagine soccer or any of the sports that are like in the mainstream, you never see people grow that have like an extended history of skating being part of the sport. And I think it's probably one of the most exciting divisions, because that's the future for all of us. That's the future for me, unless you're already skating in the masters. That's the way things will move forward, and we have peoples in the masters that have been there for like a couple of centuries, and skating is something we all have close to our heart, and being on stage also is like a great way to share that with everyone, and being able to do that for the longest of times is super great. And also like the masters division, I know it has like a history of being like a place for people that aren't up to square anymore, but if you just check the lineup, it's gotten super competitive, and we have some really sorry we have some really seasoned competitors and good skill there, and I think it's gonna be one of the most exciting divisions to watch. There are younger masters that turn 40, I think. Danny, for example, is just hitting 40. My good friend Burns as well. Shout out to you, Burns. Yeah, so, I mean, 40 is like the restriction we have, or like the cutoff point, and you have people that are on the older side, like Günther and Jojo, and you have young people in their 40s also. So I think it's all good, man. Seeing them and guiding the next generation is so cool. So yeah. Then we have obviously the highest competitive division, which is the pro division. 24 people, which is also super great. I mean, having 2 full heats to present to our visitors. And if you take a step back, like as not a freestyler, but like as a visitor, the pro division is something you will take a look at and see, okay, this is legit. This is great skating, great performances. Even if you can't pick out which trick was the most difficult or which was the flashiest, you will see each time, and we will see that later, if you skip through the different divisions and see the first pro one, you immediately know this is where things things are heading, and this is the serious thing. Yeah, that's my cat. Yeah, I didn't know if I wanted to exclude her, but I think she would scratch the door, so I just leave it open. Then the rookie division, which is a little less this year, but this is due to picking out the rookies from last year and encouraging them to step up to the amateur, which also explains the inflated number in the amateurs. Sorry. Initially, we wanted to limit the amateurs, and but the rookies stepped up and were willing to face a bigger challenge, and then it would have been weird to like talk people out of the rookies and skating in the amateurs and then selling, okay, sorry, the limit is reached. So yeah, and just gonna take a quick sip here. I need to hurry. I'll see. The Women Plus division, we have now like 22, currently 22 women. I mean, what's more to say, right? We have skateboarding as a whole has always an issue with like not being in a welcome place for women to join not only join the events, but also like finding their own place in the skateboarding community and seeing them grow with every year. I mean, it's amazing. 22. Think last year I think we had like 16, 17, so the women division is certainly the most growing division out of all of them, and not only in terms of like sheer numbers, but also like picking up in skill with every year passing. So yeah, which leave us at 113 total competitors as of right now. I'm sure after telling people the deadline is the deadline, we will get a few more registration, but yeah, this is the current standing. And mind you, around 10% of registered competitors drop out. I mean, skateboarding is a high risk sport, so people get hurt, also maybe lose their passports and all that good jazz. So yeah, 113 is a good number to go through. A quick overview over the countries we have. I mean, there's a big 420 if you ask me. 42 competitors from Germany. Obviously, I mean, the World Freestyle Skateboarding Championship is held in Germany, which makes it easy for German people to join the contest. But I also think, without tooting my own horn, we in Germany, we have a big infrastructure of like new teams forming and workshops and events, and these lead to a bigger scene. And the other big countries you see also have the same thing or the same formula, like France, for example, or our Hall of Famer Marius, who's also in the chat tonight, watching this and supporting this. And this is what it takes. Be involved and lead by example, and then you'll see growing numbers of skaters like you wouldn't imagine. Another thing is seeing this 9 Japanese skater that are making the long trip to Germany. Japanese skating has always been a little what's it called, like separated from Europe or America, just obviously because of the difference, and also like the language barrier. And Japanese skaters also have like their own little infrastructure with like the contests they have. And I mean, Japan is surely amongst the most competitive scene as a whole, and having 9 people here this year, man, that's cool, right? Romania, 9 people from Romania will make the long drive again, and I think when I think about the World Freestyle Skateboarding Championship and the Euros in particular in the past, that's one of the lifeblood of the event, the Romanian skating, and not just the excitement they bring and the good skating and the good preparation and the good structure and everything. It's also like the energy they bring, like it's young, wild, and they really have the hunger to bring it, and that's the most important thing. Then we have the Dutchies, 8 people. They also had like their own competition that's led by Kevin Wessels and the Dutch Freestyle Skateboarding Open. And that's the thing, if you have the events, if you have the infrastructure, and if you have cool people that inspire others, I mean, that's the things you need, right? Then we have the French. You can see what's it called. You can see a pattern here. Also have Stefan Lagorsi, who does his own contests, and this the stuff that brings forward the whole thing. Then we have the Spaniards, which all have like, I mean, this. I love my Dutchies and my French people, but we have to what's it called, pick the truth. The Spaniards are something else, man. They just, you see them coming like they bring their own sun with them. It truly is that. Like if you think about like Isma, Ivan, and one of the coolest skater I know, Pedro, man. So I'm really looking forward to the event, man. If anything, this is gonna be so good. We also have like Austria bringing 5 people, which also is tremendous, and they have the skateboard meetup in Vienna, and also talking a lot via their community and stuff, so you can see a pattern here. Just a quick, my Discord is blowing up. Sorry. Then you have the Swedes. Swedes freestyle has been a staple at our event and will continue to be, and I'm happy that they joined again. And they have also like competitors in all divisions, which is always cool. I mean, it's good if you have like a whole bunch of people with you, but having like a representative in every category is so cool. Then our UK bros also like yeah, I mean, the UK people have probably been one of the longest freestyle nations beside Germany, like continuously doing stuff, and yeah, happy they join us again, even though we always bump heads, so that's just the thing, right? But I'm happy they are coming. I couldn't see the event without them. Sorry. 4 people from the United States also doing the long travel. There have been a couple of contests in the US that are picking up what's it called? Picking up more competitors, more growth, and you can see the pattern here again. 3 skaters from Portugal with the current Masters champion, 2 Belgish skaters, 2 from Brazil. Also Brazil is a skateboard nation on their own, kind of separated from the whole skateboarding ecosystem, not just in freestyle but also like in street skating and stuff, but they have amongst the coolest and highest skill levels in Brazil, so happy they are joining. 2 people from Italy, finally. Finally we have another Italian skater joining. 2 people from Scotland, some regulars, and 1 very special person, or 2 very special nations coming up. Malaysia, the furthest in distance we have, and also like one of the sole representative of Southeast Asia. And I'm happy to announce that we have a keynote speech from Azam a little later. I'll try to pick up the speed a little, that will share some really important knowledge on how to do such long travels. And Azam has been with the Euros and really giving our, what's it called, like our giving our event in the international strength it has. And we have also Australia with us. Josh Dunstone will join the event after competing in the Euros, I think 2019 was the last time. So time flies, and I'm happy that he's in there as well, and he is also part, if you follow Instagram a bit, of his own community. So if seeing Josh skate is super exciting, because he also portrays an exciting run, and I'm happy that we have it on our own ground. Then we have one skater from Ukraine in the kids division. One skater from Switzerland, also one of the season pros, Mario Steinemann. Then we have one Polish skater who's also skated last year in the top 10, Jakub. One skater from Israel, Almuk. He told me already that he's kinda hurting on his knee, so I hope we can all send some energy and some love that he will find the strength to push through his hurt through his through his knee issues. And one skater finally from Hungary, Turi Zoltan, which probably has one of the most difficult tricks and combos in freestyle right now. Yeah, that's the whole lineup. 22 nations: Europe, Asia, America, Oceania. I mean, that's basically every freestyler from every nation we have, right? Who's spamming the Discord, dudes? Please. I don't know how to mute it, but yeah. Australia, 16,000 kilometers to our event. I mean, that's in Malaysia 9,600, which is, I mean, that's mental, right? Making this big of a trip for a freestyle competition. I'm super thankful for it. There's not another way to say it. Then we have also Brazil and US, and that's just the furthest part. We also obviously have like the whole of Europe and stuff. So that's so cool, man. Thank you guys for taking your time to travel and your money. And I know this is hard in the current times, so thanks, man. I'm only coming because Josh will be here. Do you remember the big poster on for the Euros with Josh being on the big screen and everything? Man, I'm gonna be excited. Not gonna put the pressure on him, but yeah, I'm really happy you will come. Which leads, I'm considering we are like almost an hour in. I'm trying to get through it. Divisions. Pros are the high skill group, people who are seasoned competitors and are part of teams or brands, or have other avenues of portraying freestyle in the highest level. We have the amateurs, which is the big group of people who are freestyle enthusiasts but may lack the skill level yet to portray the sport on a bigger stage. And the skill ceiling is a little lower, and even though there are obviously also people skating like forever, like myself, almost pushing 20 years, so this is the biggest division. Then we have the Masters division, which are people over the age of 40, are also compromising out of all skill levels, people who just started skating, or old pros who don't feel like competing at the professional level anymore. And we have the Women Plus division, which are also like a mixed group of all skill levels, like people who started out skating, and also people who could just as well skate in the pros and amateur division for the highest skill levels. Man, my voice is starting to give out. Sorry. We have the rookies division. rookies division have always been a point for contention, because what makes a rookie is it just skating the amount of years? Is it competition experience? Is it what makes a rookie, right? And the rookie division should be a safe place for people stepping on the bigger stage, like the World Freestyle, and daring to show their skating and be a little less competitive setting in order to live up to the challenge. And the kids division, which are literal kids under the age of 14. We are skating in 2 rounds, qualifiers and finals, and now it has been a big contention, and trust me, not only as a competitor, but also as a judge, and also as a part of the event crew. Yeah, there's no way around it right now, and we will make the schedule work that we can find a competition field that's still enjoyable, and we want to give as much of people's fair shot to skate and qualify for the finals. There are other solutions out there, like going by the world leaderboard and all that jazz, and we will need to find a way forward, but this is for the year like it was in the prior year, and we just will take a shot. Meaning also we will have harsher cuts this year. Last year has been notorious for only cutting out like 5 to 6 people, and this year is gonna be a little harsher, I'm afraid. Except for the rookies and kids, they don't skate 2 rounds, they just skate the qualifier rounds, or like the final rounds, you might say, just because of the aforementioned reasons. We have a top of 50 skaters in the finals across all divisions, meaning we have like 1 or 2, 1.5 heats per division. So with like, for the amateurs example being 34 skaters, you can imagine how big of a cut that is, cutting down to 10 people, but that's the way the cookie crumbles for this year. 10 skaters per heat, I think that's yeah, exactly, Alex. It's just rookies have not qualifiers, they just have the finals. And rookies are also like the skating group, which are based in Germany and are close by, so yeah. 30 minutes warm-up is like, I think that's fair. From an event organizer perspective, you have to imagine you have like the energy going after 10 runs. The hype is there, and you want to see the next thing, and then we are like, yep, now that everything is like super warmed up and cool and buzzing, we are cutting down 30 minutes for the next group, which is, it's good for the sport. I don't know if it makes for an enjoyable experience. Yeah, it's 30 minutes after every heat. Run times. Those are the usual run times. Pros 120 seconds, masters 110, M's and women plus 90 seconds, rookies and kids 60 seconds. The rookie run is shorter because they probably not have like the bag of tricks or the skill levels to focus on a lot of things, so they should stick to the basics and show a slimmed out cut version of the most. Then we have same reasoning goes up to the top, to the pros. The pros have like a big bag of tricks, a lot of techniques, a lot of different show elements they want to show, and for the masters they skate longer just because, I mean, over 30 skating is difficult as it is on its own, and 110 seconds give them a little more leeway in their runs to like catch your breath and stuff. One important thing, that's what I added here. The time starts of your run when you start skating. It's not like the music starts and the clock runs. be a little mindful if by choosing a track that you don't pick overly long intros, song intros. 15 seconds is okay-ish. Yeah, but don't be excessive about it. It didn't happen last year, but I had some contests where I was like, okay, waiting for the drums, okay. So be a little mindful of the time here. And with if you watched like skateboarding contests like SLS or Olympia or all the other street contests, they have like a buzzer that goes off when the time runs out, and then everything after that doesn't count. It's a little different in freestyle. The last trick will be announced by the MC. That's why he's the MC, and we have a little leeway there, so don't feel rushed to deliver the last trick. There's a little leeway there, so yeah. And also probably forgetting to push the button anyway, so yeah. Any questions about that? With timing, what if you start spinning right before the time ends and spin for 20 seconds, then mate, you did a 20-second spin. Good for you. No, but honestly, if the MC says this is the last trick and then you do it, then it's fair game, man. And maybe this is a controversial take, and this is my personal experience. If a spin is like 15 seconds or 20 seconds, that's not gonna matter, right? A spin is good when it's well spun, stable, an exciting version of a spin, like doing a nose variation or doing the other way around, the more difficult run, or whether it's done clean without like scraping the tail and stuff. That's what makes a good spin, not if you do like one more resolution over the other. I think that's silly. If you want to figure out what's a good spin, watch Sven Schiefer from Switzerland. Man, that's the sentence. Sven Schiefer from Switzerland, and you will quickly figure out what makes a good spin. We have the same floor again as last year, reinforced wooden floor. This time around we will use more like supports that the floor isn't as bouncy. We have the same skating area as you can see here, again with like the somewhat unfamiliar shape, to put it softly. It's just gonna be the same as last year, but this year we will have a roof, like an actual roof, so we don't get rain out again, because this happened in the Euros, this happened at Worlds, and man, that was so devastating. We had like the protection from the rain, and we had like the suction machine, and like obviously a lot of like things to swift off the man. My heart broke after like the first rain. I could, okay, we can work to this. We are like an hour late and stuff. We can, but man, as Kevin runs ended with the rain, man. I skated in the rain. Obi did a phenomenal run in the rain, but man, I'm still shook. I mean, it's no way to put it bluntly. But this year we will have a roof. How wide is it on the sides and how long? I mean, dude, it's here. It's like 9 meters wide and 37. I mean, for you longboarders, obviously that's not enough, but this is the best we can offer. Skating on different floors, how to adapt. That's the point of contagion, man. I had contests that were really slippery, like the Dutch contest or the one we had in Dortmund, Germany. And we had like a contest in France, the first that I got to enjoy being there, which was like washed out asphalt, which is super grippy. How do you adapt? Obviously you can pick softer or harder wheels, but I think this is like missing the point, because probably adapting to different wheels will be harder than to adapt your skating. The best thing to do is skate the floor. This is important. Skate the floor and not just sit there and theorize how to do it. I think after all of us skaters can adapt to the floor and like, I think enough time you can adapt to it, and be mindful of how you go about your tricks. This is maybe for beginners difficult to understand, but every trick you are doing, like a spin or a slide, or like how big the movement is, you're going in and out, this matters. This stuff matters. If you're skating on slippery floor, don't like do the steepest of, maybe I have like a skateboard here, obviously. If you are doing like, I hope you can see that, if you are doing like movements like this, like big, wide, high, you're asking for trouble on slippery floor. On slippery floor you can get by just scraping. Don't go like the exaggerate movements, because every force you are putting into the floor is also you need to like catch back. So, and sometimes if it's not working, like, I mean, pogos are a difficult, what's it called? An example. Try to adapt. Try to, if pogos for whatever reason, if everyone can do them and you can't do them, cut them out. Do something different. This is important because it's, I mean, you can brute force your way and just try your luck, but yeah, I think. I mean, as you can see it in the chat, softer wheels help for more slippery ground, or harder wheels help for like more grippy ground. I think the most amount of difference is your skating. I mean, we saw Daniel Adam in the Dutch skating. He basically did all his banger tricks on pogos, and he did just fine, and you have to adapt. Yeah, also like end of the day, I mean, we don't have it as bad as like street skaters with like all the wax and stuff that gets spread all over the contest, but it does matter. Yeah, we always paint the wood panels with like abrasion protective painting, but yeah, it does matter. Even if it's perfect ground after a whole day of skating with like 100 people, obviously it's gonna be different, but don't stress it out. You will do fine. Be mindful. Try out your tricks during the warm-up, and if they don't work, don't do them. Don't force yourself to do it. Try to be a little, I mean, the wooden floor, maybe people in the chat can agree or not, is somewhere in between. Most people think it's slippery-ish. I skate slippery floor all the time, so for me it's grippy, but yeah, also like does putting tape on nose and tape help for pogos on slippery floor? They do, but I don't think it's a good thing that they do. And this may sound weird, but people are, remind me, it's also dependent on your shape and stuff, but people are used to a pogo behaving a certain way when you go into it, like how much of, my English, how much of pressure you need to withstand, how much give there is on the edge of and putting on tape, or putting on, like, I've seen rubber bands and all kind of weird contraptions. It will change your... It's probably more difficult to adapt to the change the rubber or the tape is providing than you adapting to the floor. I mean, if it's too slippery to do it at all, I don't know how smart of a move is to go for it still with like a fixed spot, but yeah, I mean that's what's the warm-up for. You need to figure that out. If you think the tape is working for you, then tape it, try it, and pray to God that the tape is staying on. For me, the tape never worked because I do a lot of like footwork stuff where I shuffle my feet around, and the moment I hit the nose or tail with like the tables, then it's all gone for anyway. So, but talk to others, ask them for advice at the event and try it out, and maybe stomach a little bit of different feel, and then I think you'll do just fine if you don't stress it. And it's like with everything in life. Sure, some things are more difficult. Try it out, be sober about it, be honest to yourself, don't try to force it, or don't be overly stressed or mad about the circumstances. Do what feels good. If it feels safe, it's safe enough for the run. And then if it doesn't, and you slip out and break your jaw, dude, it's skateboarding, man. Then so be it. You probably have a more difficult time on being sleep deprived than skating on the even or somewhat suboptimal floor. So that's my 5 cent to it. Yeah, as I alluded earlier, we have the roof construction. The whole contest floor is gonna be provided with like a rooftop. The timetable is not ready yet, but we will have like 5 hours of competition on Friday and 10 hours on Saturday and Sunday. So this is roughly the time schedule we have. Thursday open practice is the best day you can skate. This is where everybody comes, like wave after wave, and people coming from like the tram and like the bus stop, and then you see a glimpse of them in the back of your mind, because everybody is skating obviously and trying to play it cool. And then that's come Thursday open practice it. You don't need to go like for a full skate season. Just come, enjoy the floor. That's the best thing. You won't thrive on currywurst, dude. I'm German and I'm from the Ruhr area. I thrive on the currywurst, man. Yeah, but eat healthy, obviously. No, we don't have a warm-up area this year around. Last year it wasn't used, and when it was used for the wrong reasons. And the warm-ups gonna be bigger. Last year we only had 15 minutes with like 15 skater, which were pushing it. And this year, we will have no warm-up area, also because of the roof construction. But there's also, I mean, obviously we want to practice on the stage itself, but I think we will do just fine. Best trick, best spin, and best handstand are probably not happening. I mean, we are discussing this internally, whether we can provide it based on the timetable. I wouldn't bank on it, honestly. I may get hate messages after this, but yeah, don't stress it too much. I don't think it's happening, but I will try my best to get it to work. But with we cut off one day. Last year we had also like competition on Friday and Thursday. This year we don't, and some things gotta give, man. And you can either choose to leave out people or leave out side shows, and let's face it, best trick and spin and handstand haven't been the best part of competitions for quite some time now. Yeah, we talked about it, David, like picking out one of tricks out of the run. We can do that by the side, but you will also notice a little later that it's not that it's not easy to focus on multiple things at once. I will try to rush it. Dude, it's already like 20-ish. I'm sorry, David and Kevin, that we are running late. What makes a good performance? What do you think makes a good performance? I'm curious what the first thing will come. I'm very curious who will type what makes a good performance. I have my predictions. Keep your answers short, please. Yeah, that's also like, I mean, and honestly, when I can like throw a little shade, if you go into a best trick contest and see that heavyweights like Ike and all like the top pros are out there, and you go into the best trick contest with like a couple of rail flips. I don't know, dude. I know it's exciting to show what you can do and all that stuff, and yeah, style makes a good performance. So, in order to cut that short, it's a toss-up between a technical ability, like if you take freestyle out of it, mostly it's a good place to start. If you take out like the freestyle, the sport specific things and just focus on the better thing, bigger picture. It's technique, difficulty, and aesthetics, how well it was done, right? And some people argue one thing over another, whether it's more difficult to learn difficult tricks or have clean skating. I personally, if you ask me, I'm gonna be honest here, I could forgo with difficulty for all I care. Just focus on the aesthetics, but yeah. It's like, it should be 50-50 and worked out like the but I think a very difficult run that's weak on the aesthetics has the same value as a very beautiful run, but maybe like being lower on the difficulty. I think it has a place for both. It will be good to have maybe like a certain, what's it called, like this is like 50-50, but there is like 75-25. I think a place where we are at is probably good. And this is where the data comes in, because without data, it's just a philosophy discussion, and maybe we can have a look at the next slide, which helped tremendously. This is the data we are gathering with the app system. So for every run that is performed, we have data, like concrete data, not just like, this was good, this was bad. No, we can look at the actually data and figure it out. So to cut things a little short, this is a diagram of the point contribution distribution, and you have like 0 points at the bottom all the way up to 60 and the different slides. So to read that, I know I'm also not smart enough to like fully understand that. We have Vukash Chishak who helps with that type of stuff tremendously. But the way to understand it is, the bigger the box is, it's a rule of fourth. So this is where the big meats and bones of the divisions are. The black line says this is the median of the division. So for example, the amateurs score about 43 points on the aesthetics in the median, and the black elongated lines are how big the spread is. And if there's like super outliners, and we certainly have them in the women's plus division, and everybody can take a wild guess who that may be, those are the black dots. So to see that into perspective, you can see that the pro division, which are the green boxes, is heavily dominated by the technique side, and all the other lower competitive divisions are dominated by the aesthetics, which kinda isn't surprising, because it's maybe easier to figure out a few tricks to a good song rather than to learn a big technique and be able to pull it off in a competition. Yeah, I think this is pretty much self-explanatory, right? I think the key takeaway from this slide is that the system we have right now, the system itself is balanced for the professional class, and it's coming up differently for the lower skilled classes. What you can take away here is that despite having skill differences in the divisions, that the aesthetics are kinda on the same page. So amateurs Masters and the Pro division on the medium skate from an aesthetics point of view kinda the same. Yeah, obviously the runtime also has an effect on the technical side, because we score each trick individual, and if you have more times you can do more tricks and score more points. But to give you a perspective, an amateur run has 10-ish tricks, and which also you can see in the points just as well. It has 10-ish tricks, which are like roughly around 2 to 4 points. Yeah. And then you have the pros, which are doing like 16, 17, or super outliers like Timbo spamming big spins, which are like 18, 19 tricks, 20 tricks a run. Yeah, it's called a box plot, right? Technique, difficulty, consistency in footwork. It's important to figure out how difficult are the tricks. Then it's important that the tricks you are showing actually are made. And footwork, of course, is also a somewhat own technique. If we spam tricks, is there a cap? There isn't a cap on spamming tricks, but you will quickly realize this is the infamous "I will do 100 shove-its in my run." What's it called? Reasoning. Dude, you can give it a shot. It's probably not gonna work out the way you think it will. And without giving a snarky answer, obviously you can score more tricks, but doing more tricks will mean you will have less. Firstly, you have more risk. Obviously, you need to make all those tricks, and you will lack the time to do footwork. You will lack the time to find a good composition, a good spacing, a good rolling around, and yeah. But we will see that when we get to the runs. You will always. This is look. You can talk about it ad infinitum, but the moment you see the run, this is probably the best way to actually watch the runs and then figure out trick difficulty in the divisions. I mean, we always talk about. I particularly am known for like always wanting people to move up the divisions, but there's a big gap in the pro level of skating. As much as I want to deny that, there is a big difference in skating. The streaming is being recorded and can be rewatched later, unless my PC will go up in flames. Yeah, and the difficulty in tricks is just for the pros division is just outstanding. Good difficult skating can't be shortcutted. You can be as much of a workhorse as you like and train to exhaustion, but there's just a big difference in pro level skating. It's just the way it is, and also like the way it should. And one more thing, this is a metric we use to put you in the right division, right? We are not going off by 2 Instagram clips and then deciding this could go. No, we have a good reference points for where to put you, right? If I can see, if I watch your run or know what you are capable of, both obviously that's what's it called, like I'm doing guesswork, sure, and going off clips, but if I tell you, okay, you're probably going to score more than 20 points for your technical difficulty, there's no way in hell you're skating for rookies, right? It just doesn't make sense, because it just doesn't. And if you're even if you're pushing the upper limit of an amateur, probably not gonna hit it off with the pros just that, right? Yeah, this is important to know. I see a discussion about the doing the tricks. You can do 1,000,000 shove-its and it will always score 1 point. This is important to know. Consistency. This is a little bit of a sour data point. Runs have been lackluster, I would say. As you can see in the median thing, in the median points range, which is the black line, people fail their runs. There's no way of other different saying that, but it's also without being overly anxious about your run. If you miss a trick, dude, so be it. Obviously, we have a bonus for perfect runs and stuff, but if you don't stress it too much, if you have, especially for beginners, don't stress it too much. If you miss a trick, so be it. Don't be too bothered by it. Yeah, one fail if you miss it. Obviously, if you go fast and fly off your board on your ass, then obviously that's bad. And it's not, consistency is also like heavily punished, because you're not only getting no points for your trick, you're also getting negative points, and you're also already missing time by not making the trick, and you are, I mean, if people keep on failing, you don't portray a lot of confidence in your runs or effortlessness. Yeah, that's why it may be, if you read like, oh, I only get -1 point for a fail, why not just try a million tricks? There's a reason why. Footwork. Footwork is like an all system for itself. All difficulty, smooth speed, all this stuff that is figured throughout the whole score system is in the footwork itself. Without going too much into it, you can see that the cap of 5 points has been neglected. So the most easy way to get an edge on your competition is not figuring out which kind of carousel to do, but to do your goddamn footwork, man. That's if you're coming with like 2 walk dogs and a turn in and like the tail stop shovel everybody does, dude, that's not gonna cut it. Like, you can throw in like another carousel, but dude, do your footwork. If you get like you need to work so much for 3 points in like the trick section. Do yourself a favor. It looks good. It feeds well into each other. Yeah, dude, 20 points for footwork is crazy high, but who got it? Watch the black lines. It's like 2.5 points for across all divisions, even for the pros. I mean, that's 10 points or something. Like, like I think based on I was debating whether to show the data, because that's the discussions you have. People have such a wild difference in understanding how to read the data, and I'm certainly not smart enough to see it as well. But yeah, you can see it in the runs, dude. Aesthetics are style, composition, originality, variation, and personal touch. So everything that can't be explained by physics, but with your heart. If it looks good, if it feels good, if you go like, that was nice, that's probably because of aesthetics. So yeah, those slides aren't as clean. Yeah, it ran out of time, but I hope you don't mind. Confident and effortless, also like across the more competitive divisions, they're pretty close by, with obviously with the higher level in like the more competitive scenes. Funnily enough, if you watch the pro line, the pro division per usual is more closely together than all the other divisions. Obviously, in terms of size, that's the thing. You have more competitors, meaning more variation, but being a pro comes with a certain skill set, and this is also reflected in the range the people have, right? especially in the area utilization. And you can also see it in the for the area utilization. Most of our pros are seasoned pros, and they used to skate under a system that doesn't have this criteria, which means they don't put as much of an emphasis on it. And younger-ish divisions, even if it's like the master division, which is a relatively new division in of itself as it is right now in terms of skill level, I think those are adapting. If you think about it, the rookies, which is like the lowest skill level, are 2 points, and the pros are 5. That's only 3 points difference. That's not much. So area utilization, people go out and skate. Like, skate, don't sit in front of the camera and go skate. Oh yeah, that's Alex, this is a really good point, and I think it's worth diving into even if we run out of time, because this is what people seem to not understand. There's a difference between doing I mean standing still, right? This is not area of use, you're standing still. Then the next step up is standing still in different places. You are used the area, but just stand still. Then there's like this laser printing where people start here and then go stop here and go wieder, right? This is also area of use, which is better, but still just using this. And then you have people that can use the whole course. It's difficult to do on camera, but maybe not do like a lot of rolling tricks. There's a difference between using the area and just rolling around, which is better than standing still. But doing a good trick with like a wheelie is a good way to cover a lot of ground and use the area, or having covering wide gaps with your tricks. Like, I don't know, if you see that with Ike, he's going out all the way, throwing his 540s, 720s, 900s. He covers as much as ground as people start skating still, right? So area of use is not just rolling around, but doing tricks while doing so, and how you use the area also matters. If you go at the end, that's a great way to do a G-turn and get back into the area. So this is area of use. It's not just I roll around, and I mean, I'm a big offender of that, rolling a rotor around, but it's also this way I skate, so yeah. Personal touch, that's the only category I would say that's like very subjective. Like area, personal touch, everything can be measured, right? Like area of use, you can put out your ruler and or your measuring tape and go about it. But personal touch is a little subjective. Unless you see it. When someone has personal touch, rare tricks, they only do, like, there are great examples, like Turi has personal touch, Robert Wagner has personal touch, just by the trick choice, using a different foot position, doing something odd, like people do the only nose grab, Uturi does them with the other hand on the tail and stuff like this. Sven Schiefer has a personal touch in the trick choice he does, and it's not just being a specialist for one particular reason, which Sven certainly is, but also like the way you do stuff matters, man. If you're doing the same lines, the same trick, then it's just that. It's interchangeable. Paolo is probably amongst the most what's it called? I'm very certain Paolo is one of the black dots up there, like having like his own unique tricks, man. There's nothing better than this. Rarity and personal touch go hand in hand, obviously, and they're close by. If you do like a lot of unique things, certainly it's pretty personal, right? Yeah, but also like this doesn't, you can have personal touch without having like rare tricks, if that makes sense, but and you can also have rare tricks without having personal touch, if that makes sense. So obviously they go hand in hand, and we do analysis how close or how interlinked or interchangeable criterias are. Yeah, but yeah, those are not the same thing, but most often the times they are. I totally admit it. Personally have the habit of, if I see a few rare tricks, I also may move this personal touch slider a little bit, but yeah. Trick flow, the most important, hands down the most important and the most beautiful and most unique way for freestyle, right? Freestyle, I mean, how much flow do you get? How much flow do you get like skating down a hubba, right? I mean, you can link tricks and all that good stuff. Yeah, freestyle is about finding lines that flow into each other, and that's the most important thing, man. Setting up your steps in a way, or footwork in a way that feeds for the trick, and it's not just interlinking tricks, which could be considered in combos, obviously, but it's also how you go about it. Like Shiba is a good example for immense flow, like going in circles, swinging in a way that the amount of power you have in the swing is the perfect way to go for the next trick. Yeah, there's nothing more beautiful. I could live with everything being forgone, but trick flow is so important, and I think it's not only important for like the skaters, but also for visitors. Yeah. Any questions about flow or the other categories so far, which I should explain more? And take in mind, this is not, I'm not like deciding on this. This is stuff we discuss. I wish we had a bigger forum to discuss this, and certainly we had our differences in the past, but this is decided, what's it called, like democratically, or like in a, that's the wrong term, like amongst like the judging committee and the event organizers and key persons we have in the scene and so on and so forth. So yeah, voted is like, it's not voted like raise your hand if you're for or against it. I mean, we have those moments, and those are needed for sure. Yeah, this is more like an elongated, like a lot of messages, a lot of like disagreeing and all that good stuff, right? Run composition. This, as a beginner, this is like the probably amongst the most difficult things to grasp. What makes a good run composition? It's not about the tricks itself or the trick choices. It's how you go about it. Does it have a start? Does it have like an exciting story to it? Is it has it dynamic? Are there slow parts in it? Are there fast parts in it? How much are you in control of the run? The Romanians are perfectly example. You see it when you see them skate. You know, okay, they had made a plan. I'm starting with this. I'm starting with that, and this is run composition, right? This is meant as a coaching stream after all. So a very basic run composition is start slow with footwork and then build up to the next thing. Then you do footwork, roll around a bit, and build like an impression of your skating, and then you stand still, do a dramatic entry, and then ta-da! The first exciting thing goes on. Then you feed another footwork, and then you ramp up the tension at the end. So start slow, one exciting thing, then start a little faster and another thing, and that's a good way to build tension. So like a good movie, right? You want to be at the beginning, you don't know really what's going on, and then stuff builds on top of each other, and this is run composition. If a trick takes longer, like a spin or mail, does it give extra points in technically for taking longer? No. In my personal experience, when I see a handstand, it doesn't really matter how long the handstand is held for. It matters how you do it. If you see Isma perfectly still, what's it called? Like, oh, sorry, my shoulder's hurting. Like extended legs, like strong core, and like not wobbling. And a perfect example are wheelies in G turns. I'm not sitting there with a stopwatch and putting, okay, this was like a super long manual. How good was the manual? Was it a difficult manual? These things are way more important than holding a manual like 5 seconds longer or something. It's more important on your wheelie what you do with that and why you do the wheelie, and then picking at one thing, or it's a trick you are doing should serve a purpose, right? Like you do your wheelie to cover ground, or like set up the next part, or gain a breather, and it doesn't really matter if it's too long, you're wasting time not doing another trick or building something new exciting. And if it's too short, I mean, in the scoring you will see that sometimes you are iffy about whether this even qualifies as a manual or something, but in the grand scheme of things it doesn't really matter. Right? Or do you people disagree? I mean, obviously it's more difficult to hold a wheelie longer, but when does it start to get more difficult? At second 10, at second 12, at seconds 30, 40? When does it start to get more difficult? A wheelie gets more difficult when you start to perform more poorly, right? When you start to wobble, that's where a wheelie gets difficult, right? Obviously it's difficult to have like the perfect posture and everything, but yeah, it's skate for me personally, and that's the thing I have with like handstands and stuff. The difficulty in the trick should come from the technique and the effort put into it, not because it was like, I don't know, man. Does it make sense? Right. The technique matters more than like having the stamina to hold it longer or something. I don't know. Music and trick balance. Music choice matters. If you watch the visuals, I think people haven't figured it out yet, except for like the black dots, obviously, but people haven't figured that out. What about with spins in technicality? What's the comparison of a good short spin like 3 spins compared to a good longer spin like 12? I mean, there are more difficult tricks based on like foot position. Like I think Kilian, you are doing the, as far as I recall, like the one where you are like this with one foot like this on the nose and spinning like this. Obviously this is more difficult than spinning on like the regular position, right? So if you do 10 spins in a regular position, that's probably a little less difficult than doing a one where you are spinning on like one foot, or like in a cross-footed position where you're confined and where you don't have like a lot of leeway to spin, or you spin in a more difficult direction, or I mean, you can split hairs over it, but dude, if you are like in the judging position and in the grand scheme of things, I mean, if you see someone like Sven spinning, right? Who's spinning on like 1 foot in the wrong direction, in a more difficult direction, in a closed position, like with like your feet in cross position, or like your body contortion, or like your head position in the back. This is so much more a deciding factor than, I mean, but without like being mean or something. This is like what we have with most people that skated in like the 2000s areas and coming back to competitive freestyle, and that's the reason we are doing stuff like this. They have a different understanding of what was good back in the day, or like on like a surface level, and then we are confronted with like the skating now, and it's just a different beast. So yeah, trick balance. If you order a pizza, trick balance is not about checking boxes like, okay, I did my kickflip, I did my underflip, I did my pogo, I did my rail trick, and now I can do 900 shovits. That's not trick balance. If you order a pineapple pizza with like ham and pineapple, and there's one piece of pineapple on it, it's not a pineapple ham pizza, right? That's right? Does it make sense? The thing about trick balance is you want to see a skater being comfortable and fluent on dude, I can eat my frozen pizza the way I like it, okay? No, but seriously, you want with trick balance, you want to show that a competitor is capable of performing every technique on the skateboard, right? They have their wheelies down, can manipulate the board in the rail tricks, right? You want to have all the techniques done. You can split hairs over it if whether that's important to you as a person, but it's certainly a what's it called? A criteria or a depth of your skating you are able to perform. And it's funny that you guys talk more about the pizza the trick balance, but yeah, whatever, dude. Each event generates over 20,000 data points. So you can imagine with 100 competitors, 2 rounds, 20,000 each individual piece. And this couldn't be done without Vukash, who designed the World Freestyle Skateboarding Championship app in 2022. And it's not an I kind of overstated how important that is. That we can have this discussion not just on a whim or like on the heat of the moment, but having the data to talk about it, and even having a standing to begin with, right? With who wants to fill out 200 forms on paper to figure out stuff. So Vukash, I know it's like you put a lot of hours into it, so thank you, man. Yeah, we record this via app. You will see it a little later. It doesn't matter if it's on phone. You see me here in the Euros using a laptop. Others use their phone. This makes no difference. The app works just the same way. Because I got questioned that why you are using a laptop, and right? Doesn't matter. Just the device to input the data. On the left, you can see the database. This is how it comes. So you can see each individual point and which judge give which point, and then you have the user interface which we use to input the data, which is just a teddy tracker and a few sliders. The data is then transformed in the cloud, Google Docs or the server, and automatically so evaluated, so we have like a scoring system right off the bat. And then this scoring will be put to the judges, and then we will decide whether this is feasible, if are there any errors, did somebody, I vividly remember like inputting like in the rookies like I don't know, like 420 points or something, just because I fat fingered the what's it called, the sliders. And so we are taking these, and does it make sense? Did anybody do something wrong? Do we have the names right? I remember, Marius, you may remember coming up to me and scolding me for mixing up what's it called, the Spanish girl and Calm. Shoot, I'm sorry, I've forgotten the name. Just stuff like this happens, man, and the more we can automate and have like a technical advantage, the better, right? Yeah, this is really something unique to have that kind of app, like this detail. And trust me, the judges are pushed to their limits, and you will see that hopefully like when we do this judging, like deciding on that, if whether that's 7.5 or 8 points, that's really exhausting. And sometimes you do it out of your gut, and after the 10th it's easier than doing it the first time around, but you will see it's not easy. And the thing with the bias is we also check for biases. Meaning, how do you check for biases? Obviously, if I score my boys, eeny miny more points for my bro, you will see that in the data, right? When I'm a person that tends to overscore. That's also something I know, because I'm getting a little carried away across the board. Meaning, I give competitors like a good cop, bad cop kind of situation. I tend to score people a little higher than they maybe should. And there are judges that chronically underscore, like they aren't excited by anything they see. And this is not an error. This is like going to the movies. Movies and some guy says this is the best movie ever, and the other side says this is the worst movie ever. So, was the movie in medium good or bad? Who knows? And maybe another thing is the power of a judge, or the importance of a judge, is in the consistency of their voice. If I know you like rail flips and this is the best thing ever, and you like dancing and this is your thing and you score everybody, this is important to know. This is really important to know, and this is not, obviously it's better to be, I don't know, like the gray man in the middle or something, but we are passionate about what we do and we love this, and this is always a thing. So the way we go through it is I check, I gotta fix my English here, so I take every scores I do, and if I know on the median I score like 30% too high or higher than, without like putting a score to it, 30% high in general, meaning if 5 people judge, I am probably the one giving a little too many points. I know when I underscore someone or like tilt from it, that's a little weird, right? When I don't know, if I give every kickflip 100 points and then suddenly I give a kickflip 10 points, what happened? Right? That's sort of a way you can check for biases. And there are a million other ways, like comparing across divisions, if you score multiple divisions, or if you have if you have, like, we have for each judge we have individual rankings. So I don't know, I have a personal ranking, I don't know, Daniel has in first and Robert in second, and the other may have it like Robert on last place. Then there's something weird going on, right? And that's stuff we can look at the data, and I mean, we are not doing that on site, but in hindsight we are doing this. So just gonna go quickly read your messages. what about making sure there's no conflict of interest with judging? For example, a judge that is sponsored by Never Enough, judging a skater of Never Enough. The first thing to do conflict of the first thing to prevent conflict of interest is having a lot of people that do events. This is pretty obvious, right? If I remember a few contests. I love my boys and girls from the from again freestyle. Shout out. Obviously, if everybody is like, no, I don't want to do it. I'm here with my friends, or I ate a lot of currywurst and I'm also half drunk, then my boys have my back and I can rely on them. And having more people to rely on will make the difference. So obviously, for Worlds, for example, we check whether we can have people in the judging in the event that are not affiliated with a team. That's pretty obvious, right? And if you can't do it, we will talk to the judges. Dude, how do you feel about scoring your teammate? And if they try to, if they start to give dodgy answers, we will talk about, dude, are you feeling you're scoring too high, too little? And we will watch at the data. Again, this is obviously this is like a lot of like, man, I can see myself now in 2 months or 3 months, whenever the event is, and the MC saying, we have to score ready in 20 minutes, and I'm me rushing up the tower and trying to figure that shit out on like the app and the data and seeing if there's anything aloof going on. People, please engage in the events. Try to help with the stuff. If you think you are fit to judge, we will train you to be a judge, to have a default on. It's also important to have international representation and also different genders there. This is all stuff matters. And if there are no judges to go by, then what are we supposed to do, right? So, and bias happens, dude. It happens. It happens on a personal level. It happens on a personal level. It happens on based on what you are liking, whether you think the wheels are the dopest, almost swear, the dopest stuff ever. This happens, but the most important thing is be transparent, talk to us. Even if you disagree with the judging and think Patrick always scores his boys high, then come up and talk to me. Don't flame me on Instagram or... This is pretty, should be pretty obvious. Just come, talk to us. We will look at stuff to the best of our abilities, and there's no other way to do it, man. Like if you go in the Olympics, not skateboarding, but like common sports like floor exercise, diving, or whatever, there are like 20 judges. 20, not 5 dudes about to skate themselves and having a lot of pfeffi in the last night, but you know, and stuff like this matters. And yeah, from my personal experience, I know I came up to one of the Euros, I came up to workers, said, man, I'm sorry, I know I fucked up, let's figure out how to go. And then we fixed it, and then everybody is happy. So it's about gathering a community that is willing to do for. If you know that when you go to someone and says, maybe I overscored this, sorry, and you end up being on the chopping block and being publicly what's it called, like shitstormed or whatever, then nobody is gonna do it. Then it does, right? And if you've got firstly a better understanding, obviously, and training, but also a way safe spaces, I think the word people are using. If you have that, then it's gonna be fine. Yeah, exactly. That data is used for monitoring, training, and improvements for the judges for the event. For example, right now I think we are having too many finger flips. and I want to see less finger flips, then I go to Vukash and saying, dude, we have too many finger flips. What can we do about it? And then he was saying, no, finger flips are totally fine. Right? That's the way the cookie crumbles. And then we'll check and try to find it. The most important thing for judges is also follow the same lead. Even if you disagree, I disagree personally on a personal level that finger flips, I dislike them. We see too much of them. But if they are scoring the way they are scoring, then I will do so to the best of my abilities. Because that's fair and that's what we decided on. And that's why we do this every year, right? We also hand out performance reviews to our competitors. Some people receive that from me as well. This is from the Euros, I think. To see where people can improve. How far are you? I mean, medians are kind of weird, right? You have your head in the microwave and the feet in the freezer, and on median you are well temperatured or something. Yeah. But we hand this out to people to coach them, right? And that's why we're also doing this right here. So if you want to see a way of improving your run, just feel free to talk to us. And we do it to the best of our abilities. And maybe another thing is we are judging performances. We are not judging people, right? So just because you're skated like shit doesn't mean you are like less of a competitor or person. But I'm gonna score the way you are skated, right? Why we do actually go to all this trouble? We want to have fair. We want to have it fair. We want to have it transparent and sustainability in terms of like, if we decided one way to put a lot of effort into getting that right, the next years will profit from that. And also people come from all over the world, spend their hard-earned money on the contest, and it would be so weird to see people like misjudged or like that's totally not cool, right? If I'm telling you figure flips are the hottest shit in the world freestyle, and you come and you do all finger flips and then end up last place, who's at fault, right? Yeah, and most importantly, we do this to make the event exciting, right? You should come there and see something great. This is the World Championship. I know we have a lot of people just starting out and stuff, but we want to have people there showing up for themselves, right? That's the big topic. Any questions so far before we go into the balance update? To the criteria and stuff. Oh, thanks, man. I'm really debating on whether this is like worth all the time and stuff, and your times as well, but if you are enjoying it, we did all right. Balance update, and isn't that an exciting slide? A lot of people ask me what is like the World Freestyle Skateboarding Association, what is World Freestyle Championship, and all the different terms throwing around in our community, and I think we do a terrible job explaining our little circle to others who aren't like terminally online. So I'm the German. The WFSA is what's it called? Like a group of people like Marius and Vukash and Tony Gale and a few other of the communities who advocate for a way of their freestyle. And obviously the World Freestyle Skateboarding is we also have an association, but the World Freestyle Skateboarding Championships are an event, and there are different interest groups, and we definitely need them in order to avoid bias and have different perspective. And the World Freestyle Skateboarding Association just recently released their world leaderboard, and this is also like the world leaderboard as something we take into consideration making decisions, and this is like all fairly young, and I mean in more established sports, you have like the FIFA, or you have like the World Rowing Federation, or like for skate, it's World Skates for like street skating. And we aren't at the time where stuff like this is leading up to, but maybe with like enough years and experience, we will get to it. For this year, the World Freestyle Skateboarding Association helps us with like the infrastructure for the judging first and foremost, and also like provides us with the feedback for like the judging. And I'm gonna be honest, right now it's always like a lot of like personal messages and stuff, like people reaching out to each other. But this is, I think it's time for a more official way to release statements and like rather talk to a conglomerate of people than Mario's writing me something, or I write Mario's, or whatever, right? Balance updates. Vukash was kind enough to give me the balance updates. Those will be released as a whole on the World Freestyle Skateboarding Association page, and this is like a sneak peek for the coach night. I'm just gonna read it out in to the best of my abilities. 2025 brings only a minor revision to the scoring system. An important lesson: don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, is what you guys say, right? Namely, it puts slightly more emphasis on the technical side. When the system was originally designed, the key drive was to balance the technical and artistic side of the run as equally important part. This is what you see in the data, right? It was, right now it's a little in disarray, not for the pros, there it's working as intended, but in the lower skilled division. No? That's the original way is calibrated using pros runs as the baseline, as it should be, right? Because that's the best we have to offer. Having gathered enough data over the last 3 contests, it turned out that the idealized version was slightly divergent from reality, hence the need for rebalancing, as the artistic component was the heavier part of the score. Meaning, how you skated was heavier or was more part of the points than the technical side, especially in the lower division. With that, upper limit of the artistic score goes down to 90 from 110, so 20 points nerfed. 2 aspects of the artistic component have been downsized. Run synchronization from music. Upper limit goes down from 20 to 10. Hardly anyone scored higher than 12, so the point pool was mostly underutilized. So much for the discussions about music is too good, right? That's why data is important. The other reason is that the original value was too high compared to other artistic components aspects. Balanced trick group selection. Upper limit goes down from 20 to 10. This aspect had very little variance and was easy to max out in divisions above rookies. While it was lower for rookies due to lack of experience and shorter runtime, it was consistently high with little variance in other divisions, making it essentially 3 points with no differentiation power, right? We initially wanted to show that the skater has a lot of different techniques. This was important because we want to see that. You can personally decide whether that's important to you or not. And people took that as a point to like use it as we anticipated, but it became more of a vocal point rather than having others, so it's nerfed. As an overview, again, this will be released on the World Freestyle Skateboarding Association page. Left you have the 2024 like it was, and right is the new edition. So artistic score, the technical score stays the same, and the artistic score has been downsized in that capability. Thank you for the cooperation to my lovely folks at the World Freestyle Skateboarding Association. I know it's difficult. We all have our personal sides and everything, so I'm really happy you guys finally pulled the trigger and doing it, and I'm really proud of you that it worked out so good so far, and I think this is only the beginning. Everything else will follow. No worries, man. Community awards, we will have community awards again this year. This is the best thing, right? We want to... The community awards are set to inspire others, right? If we see someone that does tremendous for the community, and we all should aspire towards that. For example, our French, our French skater Stefan from the Putain skateboard brand. He did his own contests and formed a team and did all that good stuff we all want to see, and this is a good way to honor that work first and inspire others to do the same. And we also have this year the Hall of Fame again, new inductees. That was first edition in 2024, and this year we will have new addition to the Hall of Fame. And the Hall of Fame is a way to honor a life's work of engagement in the community. Yeah, that's it. That's the presentation. Thank God it's over. Yeah, that was the presentation. We still have a couple of things left to do. I'm running an hour late. We still have the keynotes and a short message from Azam with tips about international travel. He was kind enough to provide that, and I think we should have a quick look for it if you guys are down. And after that we do the live scoring, okay? Let's see how that works. I hope I still have the video in place. So this is Azam Siafik from Malaysia. He's one of the regulars in the US, and he's certainly a traveler who endures the most amount of hours on the plane for the freestyle community, and he skates in the amateurs, and Azam, if I might say, had the typical amateur experience, coming in, bombing the few contests and not sure what to do and where your strengths are. But last year Azam really put out a good run and was rewarded for his hard work, and he also does a lot of communication in Southeast Asia and all the other basically he's communicating with everyone, and he was kind enough to give us a few tips on international travel, because who would know more about it than Azam, right? And Azam, I'm really thankful you kept the deadline and provided us with the video, and I'm trying to get it now working, and I hope this works. Let me quickly check. Keynote, yeah, there he is. So I will just quickly give the music a pause, and then I hope this works out. If it doesn't, please tell me.
Travel long. Hello everyone. Right now I'm at my hometown skate park. Okay. So recently, Patrick Tees asked me for some tips. Long distance travel tips for skateboarders who come from a long way to come to Brandenburg to compete at the World Freestyle Skateboarding Championship. So without wasting any more time, let's talk about it. I don't like giving much advice because most of the time I actually don't know what I'm talking about. But the first tip that I'm going to give you, if there's only like one tip you're going to follow, is that try to get as much rest as you can before you travel. Okay, so let me elaborate on that. All right, let's say if your flight is in the afternoon or in the morning or maybe late, like around 4 or 5 p.m. And then most likely you already have a good sleep at the night before, so that means you're well rested for the next flight. But What I'm saying is, let's say your flight is at night, maybe like 11 p.m. or 10 p.m. or maybe even 12 a.m. or something like that. So what you might think, what my plan is, uh, you go to work during the day, and then at night go to your flight. Which this was what I did. I think back in 2023 or 24, I can't remember, and it was a terrible idea because that means I wake up in the morning, I go to work for a full day's work, and then at night I go to continue to my flight. And then that flight itself, the whole travel length, including land transportations and transit times and whatnot, it's like 24 hour. So 24-hour flight plus already like working 12 hours before the flight. So I woke up for a really extended period of time, and by the time I reached Brandenburg, I was so tired. So my point is, if you have like a flight at night, don't go to work the day before, during the day, like before the flight. Maybe take the day off as well. Like try to get as much rest as you can, like before your flight. I know it's maybe hard to go to sleep during the day, like me. So if you cannot sleep during the day, then just chill at home. Just rest, because you have like a huge contest coming up on the weekend. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so that was my first tip. My second tip is once you arrive at the Brandenburg, you've checked in your accommodations, whatever. You've take out your bag. Try to rest, of course, but don't go to skate. Don't go to skate immediately. I know, like maybe when you reach there in Brandenburg, maybe you're hearing some session is happening at the Brandenburg city, whatever. I mean, it's not official session. It's just like just a bunch of the skaters hanging around, having a session. And you can go join them for sure, but just join them, just to chill. I know you're excited to meet them, but just go chill with the other skaters, but don't join to skate with them, because most probably the skaters who are having a session at that day, it's probably like just the skaters from Europe, from neighboring countries where they don't have much time difference with Germany. Maybe so skaters like from, for example, France, the Netherlands, or I don't know, surrounding European countries. So yeah, that's my second tip. So, and my last tip would be, okay, I guess this is just for me. Don't skip on your meals, on your eating while you're in Brandenburg. So for me specifically, usually when I travel, I'm not much of a food guy, so I don't go hunting for like the most delicious foods or whatever, and I always try to save money. So usually what I'm try to save cost on is on food. So when I go travel, I only eat simple stuff, like convenience store snacks or bread or something like that. Which is, I guess, fine if just traveling for fun, But the thing is, when you're in Brandenburg for WFSC, you are, how do I say this? You are competing for a sports contest, so you need that energy from the food to keep you energized for your skateboarding runs, and also to help you deal with the jet lag. And, so yeah, actually during the past WFSC, I always like don't eat much because I want to save money. But actually, I should have, eat more. Okay. Yeah. So those are actually my 3 tips. I'm not sure if this is of any help But if it is, I'm glad I can help. But if it doesn't, sorry to hear that. But I mean, my English sucks. Just if you want a further clarification, just send me a message on Instagram or whatever. So yeah, okay. So thanks for watching and see you in Brandenburg. Bye bye.
Was that good or was that good, man? Azam, thank you so much for providing that. And guys, do if you're in here in the chat and happily chatting away, send Azam a quick message, will ya? Because that's exactly. Sorry. Oh fuck. Yep. Guess this will be a thing. That's the thing, right? We need people that are here, that engage, and Azam takes all this time to travel and to come. And I sent him a message like, hey, I have this thing called Coach Night coming up. Can you provide with like maybe something for our watchers, some tips, because you have some wisdom to share in here. I mean, this was knocked out of the park, right? Like a good video of like clear message, and dude, that's a legend in the making, right? Food is very important, yeah. And also, if you're like, this is a thing that surprised me. The first time I see Isamu Yamamoto from Japan Skate, he brought his own tuna cans. Like, I'm sure something like also like when you have like a food allergy or something, if you're in a place in a foreign country and you're not used to the ingredients or can't read the label or something, then do yourself a favor. If you're if you have like food allergies or something, or have a certain diet like being a vegan or something, if you have questions, ask one of the German guys, hey, I have this, I don't know, like gluten issue, or I want to be sure that there's no meat in it or something. Ask those people, and then because the last thing would be if you're like having stomach issues or health issues, and then just because you're unaware of the situations, right? Will you have vegan food? I think I mean, I haven't eaten the whole weekend because I was in such a roller coaster emotional that I haven't eaten at all. But I'm sure there were vegan options, right? Yeah, dude. The only thing I drank was alcohol. So Christian came to me and said, "Dude, you're too tense. This is enjoyable, and you deserve this." And then, chill out, dude. This was exactly what I needed. Yeah. So far for all the presentation and keynotes and everything, the only thing left to do is actually watch runs. So if you're guys, I don't know how many people still are watching, and whether you guys are still interested in seeing it, but now's the time to actually watch some runs, right? So I give it a quick what's it called? A quick introduction. So the way I intended this is I have two judges with me, so my dear friends David Buchman and Kevin Wessels from the Netherlands. You know Kevin, he is I think it's safe to say the head of Dutch freestyle skating, and Kevin has been with the Again freestyle crew for the longest of time, and Kevin came into the scene 2019 and competed at the Rookies, then and won, and then he competed the next year, and then that's where we got to know each other, and then the Again crew formed, and Kevin has also like gathered a lot of like-minded people in his local scene, and I mean, basically now having his own contest and being at the top class, at the top ranks of the amateur with every every contest, and I'm very proud of you, dude. And I'm so grateful that I'm could always count on you. And Kevin also always helped out with the judging, and he's here tonight to also help me with the judging yet again. And I don't know if we're seeing at the World's Freestyle Skateboarding Championship judging. I would love that because Kevin is reliable, he has the knowledge, and is a cool, humble dude. Yeah, I guess we'll see. And the another guess is unfamiliar face. Some people may also know David Buchmann from his competing in Paderborn last year. David Buchmann is known for his longboarding, and he's also starting to dabble in our little world. I got to know him at a longboarding event, and David is also like mad smart, and I always talk back and forth with him about judging because David is also highly interested in judging. Sure, in the longboard area, but David also has wrote a master thesis about longboard judging, which is I mean, it wouldn't if it's just about the wheel size different. This is a perfect fit, right? And David has been kind enough to help in Paderborn judging, so he got some experience there. And again, it's always we are always tinkering about figuring out techniques and ways to go about it, and I'm very happy that David again can join tonight to help with the scoring and provide some knowledge from his side. And even though David hasn't been around in freestyle all that much, he can provide a good outside perspective, and it's also a good example of being new to judging or freestyle judging, and seeing where the quirks are, how it is, how we go about things when stuff may not align, but I'm sure we will pull through. So what is happening right now is I will open the Discord and I will try to screen share the runs, and then we will try to get the guys on call, and then I hope everything works out from the technic side. So give me 5 minutes to get stuff working. So guys, can you hear me? Wait, I need to unmute you.
Yep, I can hear you nicely.
Oh, dude. That was loud. Just give me a second. So, and Kevin is at 100.
Hello.
So, are you guys hearing them?
Hello.
I hear everybody.
Good. That's good. So, then I will close the Discord. Then I will do for David and Kevin. Maybe you can give a quick introduction while I figure out how to get your. You are not using a camera, right? I mean, you don't have to. So.
I can open the camera, but.
Have you?
I think it will just mess up the video, so we probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Then you have to do with my stupid face. So, beautiful view. So, quick question to the chat. You can hear those guys, right?
Hello, internet. Hello. Can you hear me?
And I will try to screen share my screen and in the Discord, so you guys can see what I'm seeing. Do you guys see the stream right now? You should see Spotify right now.
No.
Not yet. Nope.
Go live now.
Oh yes.
Okay, good. Now I will add the video for the stream. By the way, if you guys want to have your runs from last year, I have all the runs. So I will just open it right now and see if it works from the technic side, and we will start in the amateurs, the biggest block.
Ihr könnt euch schon einen Kaffee holen, Getränk, was zu essen, deckt euch ein. Nutzt unsere
Thank you for the nice introduction, by the way, Pat.
Oh, no worries, man. I'm happy you are joining.
Oh, yeah.
Wer Lust hat, kann auch gerne mal bei Cinemotion vorbeigucken, ein cooles Filmfestival.
So, you are guys seeing the run, right?
Vor und am Stand.
I see up next the amateur division.
David, is that working for you as well?
Und unsere Daumen-Jam-Bühne, da gibt es heute jede Menge Programm, jede Menge
Yeah,
Konzerte.
yeah, all nice.
20 Uhr.
We should just let people know that we're on delay so they hear us later.
Auch das
Ah, no worries, man. Okay, good. You guys see the skating in chat, right?
so we are looking.
Then now I ask you, David and Kevin, to log into the coaching app.
Yep.
Yep.
I have both of them ready.
Okay.
PC and my mobile phone as well.
I will quickly give an introduction to the coaching app for our viewers while you guys are figuring logging in and stuff. So I hope.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So, guys and shit, this is the. It's a little difficult with the screen size, but we will do just fine. This is the judging app. We have a way to log in as judges, so every judge has their own like profile in order to figure out who skates what. And we have a couple of ways to use this thing. So we can obviously score runs, right, which we'll get into later. We have like a scoreboard where we can see like the results for the different run once the points are in. Then we have a detailed report which shows who scored what, so we can check for bias and stuff. Then we have like obviously like the run report where we can see which run was better of the judges, and we have like a fail-safe way of entering scores. So for me, example, I'm the judge named Patrick Thies. I will score myself, obviously, and obviously I scored 69 points, and I will submit it, and then I can take a look at the scoreboard and see, okay, I scored 69 points. Pretty easy, right? So this is the way it works. Then we have the scoring itself, which is where we put in a skater. Then we have our tally tracker. So when we are here, for example, I can quickly do it by myself without the guys before we do that, so everybody knows how it works. I hope I can order my screens in a way that makes sense. I will do it a little smaller. And then if we have like a run going, any run will do just fine, I don't know. Don't be too picky, Patrick. Just take any run. I think this is yearless. So we have obviously I'm sitting right there with all the other guys in the back, and then you have the tally tracker, and then AJ, this kind soul, will count off the skater, and then the skating starts. And now I will try to use everything simultaneously. So you did the tree shove, which is 3 points. Then we have a big spin, which is 2 point-ish. Feel free to disagree. He did the Casper something and missed it. And stuff like this happens, right? He failed one. Then usually I will talk to the others, what did I miss? And then they will say something like it was good or not. Right? You get the idea. I mean, we will talk about the runs and stuff. It's like a tally tracker. We just count up the scores and the bails. Then we say, okay, it was good speed for the footwork, smooth it. I mean, it's pretty fast forward, right? And to not have confusion about, because, I mean, let's face it, what are 3 points or 4 points? That's pretty difficult to what's it called, like adjust. We also have like a guidance in terms of words. It was good, it was excellent, it was right, and then we go through and the new skater already starts, and who was it skating again? And then you are rushing through this thing, and then you hit the submit button. Okay, and then you can check the run, and you see Heel is skating. Oops, it's now I closed the thing. You see him coming up in the scoring. That's pretty much it. That's how we do stuff. And
Patrick, we will probably have to figure out how your screen is not full.
my screen is not full. You mean in the Discord or what?
No, I mean, I can't see the run because you have the judging app in front of it.
Yeah, I will close it. I will close the judging app now that everybody knows how it works. I will just, I mean, who wants to see a lot of clicking? I will just call out the things, right? Do you see the runs again?
Contest.
Yes, for me it's clear.
David? David?
Yeah, we see the warm up.
Okay, so
Yeah.
now everything should be back in place. I
You
think.
hear me in delay, so always takes like a couple of seconds.
Yeah, no worries, man. So how we are going to do about it is before like clicking through the app and all that good stuff, I think we should just watch a couple of runs and we'll just talk about it. Firstly, what was good, what was bad, what was just from the gut. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, that's fine for me.
Okay.
Let's just watch some runs.
Yeah, fine.
Then we start with anyone. Anyone will do. We start with Ben's run. Ben Carter.
Oh, yes, Ben.
Just I'm trying to find the beginning. There it is. So we're just gonna watch the run, and then we will talk about whether we think it's good or not.
Always start
Yeah, this is
running
the
around
matches
before you
first.
start to
Oh,
run.
we're ready to go. Okay, here we go. Ben Carter, UK.
I always love to just go around in a circle. Ending up with a 360.
Also covering the first ground, doing a good G-turn at the end.
Yes, almost losing the imbalance, but that's nice. It's always hard to see somebody fall down, like lose support on the ground.
this hurts my soul, man. The music's a little
Yes.
loud.
It's also with the falling down, we can give it like -1, -2, -3 points. But if you lose your board and are on the ground, then it's definitely a -3.
Yeah. So far, but the good thing Ben managed to do right now is that he is not sad about missing those tricks. He's just going. I mean, you can see he's a little tense and concentrated and whatnot, but he just pushes through. And this is so important. Now he regained some confidence, which is nice to see, and he's back in the groove.
Yeah, you can see he's back in the groove again.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Come on, dude.
That's that.
I picked a real cooler to start with.
Rolling finger flips are so hard, but he can make it look so effortless. Beautiful execution.
Yeah. So a lot of like his big tricks were all stationary, which is always kind of iffy.
He has such a big bag of tricks. It was a shame just seeing him miss most of them.
Yeah. So
during the runs.
So this was the first one we saw. Maybe we start with the new phase, David. If you would do us the honor to start with your impression, with just your first few random thoughts about what you saw.
Yeah, so my first thought was that it was quite nice balanced. Also, a lot of things in moving, so covering a lot of space.
Mm-hmm.
What I was lacking a bit is like the kind of storytelling or using the music. He was just skating and the music was happening.
Yes, I agree. Any more thoughts, David?
I mean, for sure, the bales were sad, quite a lot of them, but that happens.
Yeah. Kevin, what's your first impression?
Oh man, yeah, he started up really good. As said that he missed the gazelle, I think, and his bills are like full on the ground. You see, he commits to it, but he has a good area utilization for sure. A lot of different tricks as well. He does real tricks, rolling flick tricks, pogos, truck transfers. He has everything. It's a perfect balanced run for me. Just sad to see he's missing the consistency.
Yeah. And yeah. Anything you want to add to that?
I love the way he's adding the footwork, little shuffles, little walk the dogs in between, just to connect all the tricks together.
Yeah, but that's about it. Like walk the dogs, right? There wasn't anything standing out for you, at least for me,
No.
glancing over the and see, guys. This is a good example for like, I mean, we are all on the same page. I mean, falling sucks. That's not the big takeaway from this run, obviously. But he managed to pull through. He had the what's it called? Like tenaciousness. No, what's the word? Where you like stubborn enough to, or locked in enough, or like resilient enough to push through regardless. He's still focused on his tricks. There were good vocal points, like in the carousel and the stationary parts. I mean, he did a few big spins, yeah, but not a lot of rolling tricks. Yeah, and very few footwork pieces. So, I mean,
One
obviously,
last point I may add is that it's a run you will not like really remember.
yeah, that's also like, I mean, coming from someone that's relatively new to the whole freestyle scene.
It was a really solid run, like except the fails. But yeah.
Yeah, it's not a run to remember that much, right? And stuff like this matters. You can have an opinion about that, whether you like that or not, but stuff like this matters. Should we just watch another run and go like the same before we start scoring?
Yeah, let's get in the group for a little bit more.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Oh no.
Then we start
Get them all, please.
we start with Wolf, and I need to turn up the music for that. Okay, let's go. Does it work? No.
We are ready to go. Here we go.
Big round of applause for Ruben Buck! Or not.
Oh, so good.
Beautiful
Oh,
class.
to the beat. Oh, looking for that choreography out here, using the chorus and to the beat.
And sorry to interrupt, but this is an important thing. You immediately know when you're like talking about balance and all the data points we had prior. This is such a stark difference and contrast to the run prior, and not a lot of from a technical standpoint. Nothing happened so far, but I mean, man, that's some.
Right at the Marshall skate. Check out that move. Oh, yeah. Very entertaining.
Yeah, sketchy. Oh, come on, dude.
You can see that his rolling pace is slow.
Yeah. Also shook, he's just shook, you can see it. That was
It's
a
so
good combination. Oof. A lot of
But it's also
shots.
scary.
Yeah.
Nice M80.
Little AJ cam. Yeah, the setup is wobbly. After landing each trick, he's sort of fighting for balance.
He starts off with a story, but now it starts to
To
turn
lose.
into
Oh.
more of a trick, off the trick game.
Ah, come on, dude. And this is like a point he almost missed every shove it, and the smartest competitors, you can see it with like the seasoned veterans with like Denham Hill and Christian Heise. If a trick is not working, they are not forcing another variation of it. Right?
Yes, and also if you miss the trick once, you can maybe try it once again, but if you try it again after that, well, it's just doomed to fail.
Yeah. Just if you I mean obviously that's
no more than twice the same trick.
yeah, this is a tough, what's it called? It's a tall order to ask the most of us because we are all not like pros, obviously. But even during the warm-up, if you notice a trick is not coming, don't force yourself through it. Like, obviously it's difficult in a run to be, what's it called, self-aware enough to adjust on the fly, but don't force yourself through it.
You gotta get 2 runs, best run counts. Get that, get that. That's how it's done. Beautiful. Give it up for Wolf Buck. And he's a fitness professional and he's actually a teacher as well. So again, everybody who's out here skating today that you'll see all comes from different parts
And
of the
dude,
world.
having your Wolf is super disappointed with his run, but he has his buddy here and cheering each other up. And dude, if there's one thing that's better than working together to get a better performance, having someone that is on your side when things go sour is maybe even more important.
All come from different walks of life, different backgrounds.
So, what are your thoughts on Wolf's run? Maybe we start with David again.
Okay, so basically it started super nice with nice footwork, but then it kind of got loose and it lost like its meaning. It's also hard like saying like he started with nice footwork, but then it wasn't really that present anymore and mainly failing and trying different things.
Anything else you want to add? Yeah, it's delayed for you, Ryan.
Not too much to say.
Okay, Kevin?
Well, you started off very strong.
Also, if I
it was
talk too much, I hit my own echo, so I can't talk too much at once.
So, yeah. Maybe you can turn off the sound of the stream since you're hearing us anyways. Just turn off the sound of the stream and then you will do just fine. Kevin, sorry to interrupt you. What were your thoughts?
No worries, no worries. No, he started off very strong with good footwork. It was in sync with the music, and it was only visible that he started off with footwork, then he started doing tricks, and then it started losing the story.
And this is yeah.
If you see it at the pros, you can see that they start with footwork, they do a normal trick, then they do some footwork in between, and then they combine everything and then they link everything together. And you can see here that it's more in boxes.
Yes.
Box footwork.
I mean, Alex Foster is also like hello Alex is also joining us this year in the judges. So I'm happy he is here tonight and
nice.
already sharing his perspective that the footwork piece at the beginning was a little too gimmicky, and the song changes didn't do him favor.
No.
And this is a good lesson to learn in the amateurs and for our watchers as well. I mean, the run, especially in contrast to Ben, started out so good, but you could see that this was the vocal point of training and getting it right, and then it lost the important part, which is doing the first 10 seconds of the run really make or break, are really important and to set a tone, and he really did set a really good tone and showed a level of professionalism in his skating and setting up. But the making or breaking of a run is what happens in the run, right? In the rest of the time, and that's unfortunate. Obviously, he missed his trick. We would say it differently when he did it. So if you are new to competing, make sure you don't overburden yourself with like composition or like, I don't know, like things you set up to do. I mean, obviously it's nice to hit the music and like find the structure, but if you're starting out, do yourself a favor, pick 1 or 2 good points in your run where you want to make a statement, like an compositional change or like a strong vocal point, and focus on that and fill the rest with fillings. You guys agree?
I do agree with that, yes.
David, do you agree? You're writing, yep, 100%. Is it, are you did the sound...
David, your mic is muted.
It worked so well in the beginning. What
yeah,
is
I
it?
know, but it's still so much delay that it's getting weird, so typing is more easy.
Okay, then it's like our 10 o'clock in the evening WhatsApp messages. So that's what I'm used to. So I'm sorry that it's not working technically, but I hope we can still find some. Maybe you can be a little more prolific in chat, and then we'll go do it like that. Yeah, I think we can do another run, and then we start the judging. Okay, is that cool?
Sure.
Waiting for David's confirmation. One more is nice. See?
It is typing.
Let's pick someone at the top of the rings. This young fella here.
Even his smile.
Yeah, dude. God, I love this man. God damn. Yeah, exactly. If you want to, we are going now through the footage we collected during the stream, but Alex Foster also records his run on records the run and puts it up into his YouTube page, Late Tricks. And do yourself a favor, when I started out, not only like competing but also like judging, not to like make an overselling or something or overstatement, I probably watched like every run he has on, and like going back to like 2006. So if you're interested in also seeing the progression and may want to get inspired for something new, or Alex has collected so much footage and put it up there, just free to use. And thank you, Alex, for doing this. And it's been a tremendous help to go through videos. And I'm not using your videos, YouTube videos today, because I set it out the stream before you had all of them uploaded, and just refer on the, what's it called, like the footage I have on hand. So make sure to watch Alex footage if you're interested. And if you have little time, then just pick up like the top 3 or something and watch it, and you will have a better understanding of what makes a good run. But in order to follow that suit, we will watch this run here, right here.
From Italy.
Before I start skating for my session, I always watch his videos just to get inspired.
Nice, dude.
Alles selber ausgedacht, viele Tricks auch selber erfunden. Like den Pillow Slip, for example, or the...
Timo's moderating is so funny. Oh, I'm looking so forward for the event, man. It's gonna be so fun.
We can name it like after like a city in like Italy or something, like the Milan flip or something. I don't know, whatever you want to. The Milan flip. There we go. All right, so my friends, we are ready. He's ready. Brandenburg, are you ready for the show? Again, for those who are all around here, you guys can see him on the
And you can see how
Getting
much
loose, getting loose.
you can see how much time we are burning as an event organizer to do stuff like that. That's why it's gonna shut up.
A little bit different tone on this one. Oh, wow. That is
What
trick
a
that he only does.
beautiful start.
I love these spacewalks.
Come on,
Now we
stream.
lost him. Ah, there we go.
Oh, the backward, the G-turn that way. Wow. You don't see that often. Oh, a little ode to Gustav. You'll see him in the pros.
Ah, on the music.
Good proper Casper.
Oh, no, he's coming out with two different runs. Some guys do the same run over and over. Although did a great first run, put together the second one. Oh, yeah. Doing it my way.
And heads off to Markus Assich. Ooh.
We named it right there, Milan foot to cross foot.
And you see the music is getting up, the vocals are getting louder, and the tricks get harder and more exciting. That's composition, man. Music gets mellow, smooth swings again, even though obviously he misses them. On music cue.
Creativity to the max. Ah, and he is happy.
That is the first run we've seen all weekend. Oh my gosh. Don't Olo and give it a big hug. He deserves it so much. Paolo from Italy. His first run was good.
He is well happy.
I got so much goosebumps. Me too. Oh, wow.
Ah, that was good. That was a refresher.
I'm not sure what it is.
Maybe
Oh, yes, for sure.
So, our next starter is not from Italy. He's
Give me a thumbs up.
So, what do we take from the run? David, maybe you can type out a little essay while Kevin shares his thoughts.
Yeah. The creativity is the most important part of his trick. He gives him his own flair. He does tricks nobody else does. It's new, it's refreshing, it's different, but in a good way, in my opinion. And it's just the little things like tapping his foot while he's standing on the rail and then doing a flip out. It's just the last little details that he's thinking about. It's not the hardest tricks he's doing, but he's executing them quite well. He's had a good area utilization, only he's getting a little bit slow. But you can see he takes his time, and he still gets a lot of tricks in, so it's a beautiful run for sure.
Yeah, and while David is typing, maybe I'll share my... maybe, Kevin, what didn't you like about the run in particular? If there's one thing you can change about it.
Well, if he goes into a pogo, and he does like 5 or 6 pogos, in my opinion, it's a waste of time, and it doesn't look that good. I think some people were saying like 2-3 pogos, that's the max, and then you trick out.
Yeah, Paolo is suffering from the same fate as you, my dude. You both of you are rather tall and slender, and Pogo's just kind of looking for you guys. Not gonna lie.
No, it is what it is.
Yeah. David typed the first thing. That is the run people will remember. He's using the space,
Yes.
connecting things nicely with footwork. The run breathes and is not hectic. Yes, 100%. I agree. I mean, first, you will remember this for a long time because it had flair. It was something different, not just in like the music choice and like the what's it called, the different tricks, but it was the way it was portrayed was just it was everything was gracious and giving and not just like self-absorbed doing your thing you practice on your parking lot. It was presented, and this is what I mean with like aesthetics and presentation. It's not about necessarily about like, I mean, obviously he hit the music notes in the right places, not all of them, and some, I mean, there's some leeway and stuff, but yeah, like skating for the moment, and that was really setting him apart. And obviously almost flawless run. And the other thing is, while I do like the Marcus Sass, maybe we can damn it, I already skipped, but maybe I can find it again. Skipped over it, but there he was. I like the Michael Sassi run, but you started to rush his, my dude. Like, you rushed through it. Setup time is so important. Give yourself the time to really get into the trick and get out of the trick. I mean, obviously this is choppy. This is choppy, my dude. That's for good. Yeah, that's the downside of like, I mean, you can very clearly see that this was a line that was practiced and compositioned the way it was, but forcing yourself through it was that was, I'm happy he made it and it was okay, but it was a little rushed. So yeah, no more tips to Paolo. He's in Masters now. Yeah, no, dude, that's why we are doing this, because having an critical, again, it's not to, I mean, obviously this won the world championship, right? So it's a good run nonetheless, and no matter what we are saying, but
these are minor details.
Yeah, and in this position, David, Kevin, me, right now, we are the judges, and we need to have the capability to speak about it openly and criticize things. I mean, we all know and love Paolo, and we know what he is capable of, but this doesn't matter. It matters what was presented on the floor, and if there are things suboptimal or subpar or not up to scratch, that needs to be vocalized. And I mean, it will show in the scoring, but it's also a good thing to this is maybe I what's it called, that's a thing I sometimes get asked about. Like, I'm very vocal in the judging booth. I throw my hands up and yell or whatever, jam the table or whatnot, and I think that's fair. It's not a portray of bias or yeah, just skate. For me, skating is emotion, and seeing this run from Paolo is pure emotion, and takes you away. So yeah. So
Yes.
before Is the setup working for you? Is the setup working for you guys? Do you guys feel like we can start to score?
Yeah, sure. I've got my mobile phone in front of me, so...
Okay, David, is this working for you? Semi-good, but we will try. This is the perfect example of having a skateboard contest, because these issues, for people who are not part of like the judging team or whatever, this is stuff we need to do on the fly, like phones cutting out, losing connection. I don't know, dude. Like a person next to you is crashing, and you look away and you can't see the run, or oh shoot, I missed it. This is the stuff we need to put up for like 10 hours of the competition, and if after this you are not having a better understanding how taxing this is, and this is why most people don't do it, right? Because you are sitting there. Kevin and David are kind enough to take time on their weekend, and before the stream started, they sent me messages, hey, I'm testing the app and I can log on and I can hear your voice, and this is all stuff going behind just sitting there and punching in the numbers. And if I can ask anything of you guys, it's to have a little patience and be a little more wary of the tasks at hand. And if you are interested in that sort of stuff, talk to us. I'm sure we have, with the upcoming year in freestyle, there are so many events and we can use every hand of the deck. And again, thank you Kevin and David for being with me here tonight and scoring the next runs. And also Vukash also set up the app, did the balancing, sent me this data slides, and yeah, there's a lot going on, guys. And then sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, seeing just a blatant statement in Instagram and so, what is this judging, the runs are shit or whatever, this really hurts, dude. So yeah, enough of the whining.
We're only human.
I will boot up my app, and the first thing I see, Yillis run is not scored, which is kinda gives me a little headache, but we will just try to get it right. So we take our boy Martin.
Oh, my homie.
My homie. Martin is also kind enough to DJ this year. So
yes.
Big up to you, my lovely beer, for providing the community with some sounds to enjoy.
With some
for
banger
the run.
tunes.
So we are going to score a run. The rider is Martin van Heel. Martin van Heel.
Van Heel.
Van Heel flip. No joke, I was like, for words, we are using the what's it called, the legal names, like the true birth names, for insurance reasons and also for professional reasons. And Martin registered for the Euros, and I was like, dude, another one that scored up, registered with his nickname, and because I thought he is like a heel flipper or something, you know. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You can't imagine him doing heel flips.
No.
Oh, Martin, my poor soul. We homies got no chill. So are we guys ready? David?
Yes.
David, are you ready? Type it in chat. Can we get to find a countdown back? I wanted to play it tonight, but I opted out of it. So, enough of the chit chat.
Oh no, no more final countdown, please.
There, he had the kit with the overalls. That was the kit to have. You know, all you need is the Timberlands, but in Philly we call them butters. So right, yeah, we're all ready. We're all ready. So here we go.
Timbo with his nice hat.
Er hat auch in der Again Freestyle Crew
Again.
hat auch ein sehr schönes Skateboard.
Oh yeah, time starts when you start. Stop what you're doing, swallow what you're chewing. Let's get these guys going.
Super smooth.
Linking some footwork together.
I saw that, but it's not a bail for me. I'm just glancing over that usually. That's why I also tend to score a little higher. Repeating the end overs.
Yes.
Mr. Swing.
Little
A
big
little
spin.
choppy. My dude's a little choppy. Come
Standing up
on,
into a rail.
get it.
Yeah.
Remember
Goes
to
hard with the
score.
gas first.
Remember to score, guys, right?
Super smooth on this. Really agile.
He has some beautiful G-turns.
I don't know if we meant to do that, but that was smooth.
Yes.
Yes.
Stood a
Well,
little long on his feet, but
yeah.
oh, it's
I'm not
good.
giving the points.
It feels so nice.
Hank
G-turn.
Ben G-turn. No, he's missing it sadly enough.
2,000 maces off the top, I gotta run to come through.
Nice spin. Last
Nice
spin
spin.
for you, Martin.
Do that shit that you can jump to.
Oh, boy, boy. Oh. Man, you gotta say
He's happy though. He's happy.
yeah, he skated well. He's skating better than he used to, obviously, very obviously. Are you
He already.
just let us quickly there's one thing I wanted to talk about, but just let us finish the scoring. Just a quick. So for the viewers right now, I have the app open, and I did the tele-tracking with like his trick points on the app, with like punching in the numbers and the bails, which now leaves me with trick points, a score for the consistency, and then I have the sliders up with like the footwork for speed, for smoothness, and yeah, that's what I'm trying to do right now while scoring, variety, difficulty, balanced trick group selections, quick reboot of my foggy brain, rare or new tricks, run synchronized with the music. There was one of his high points. Run composition and skate harmony. Skate harmony is terms from the Japanese scoring system. And area utilization, another one of his stronger points. Mastery.
It's especially with his G-turns.
Yeah, do G-turns. I mean, David can tell you all about it in the longboarding. It's a little, in the longboarding competitions, they do way more G-turns.
They even have best trick competitions with the G-turns.
Yeah. Which is super dope. So, and then I hit submit, and then I see scoring submission okay. And are you guys ready as well?
Yes.
David, are you done with the scoring as well? Then I will just quickly go over one thing I saw with Martin, because I also see the discussion in chat, which I think is worth talking about. Like, I mean, despite the toe drag he had, obviously, and I know this always has been a point of contention, whether that's it's just tricky, whether that's like the what's it called? Whether that's like
Yeah, you can see it here, beautiful. A no comply is not. It's a trick.
Yes.
But it's a foot plant trick, but if you hop after you plant your foot, you're rebalancing it. And
Yes.
what you saw over here was that he put his foot down, and then he hopped again to find his balance back, and then jumped on the board, which is something we at least I take in consideration scoring the tricks.
Yeah. Again, David is probably writing a whole paragraph right now. I can feel the disturbance in the force. Yeah, but before maybe what's it called? David types out his remarks and I give mine to give him some time. This thing with no compliance it's quite obviously a trick. The skateboarding is manipulated. The body is also manipulated, also shifted in positions and pressure points. So it's definitely a technique going on. How much technique there's going on? Less than doing an ollie, obviously, because it's mechanical, less intensive. It's less than a handstand, obviously. So for like the technicality of the manipulation, the no compliance is on the lower side. Then there's a difference between standing on your foot and doing it. I mean, obviously the difficult thing about the skateboard is being on the skateboard and rolling, because you need to balance out the movement and stuff, and standing on your feet is Mother's Nature's intended way. So very obviously it's less difficult. However, if you are doing your no comply and jumping off a foot and you're clearly in the air and clearly dispatched from your skateboard, like the skateboard does his normal motion, I mean, for no comply impossibles on the side, but yeah, it's definitely a trick, and it can be just as difficult as any other trick. Obviously you need to have a lot more rotating or a lot more flipping going on, or like other body manipulation, but it's definitely a trick that belongs in freestyle, in my opinion. I know the purest of you guys are but I give you a clue. If a Hall of Famer does a good no comply in his part of his run, then there's something going. So I'm gonna go through the chat real quick. Steps on the ground can be incorporated if on intention, but if you I need to move my if you take a walk or is to hide the fails, that is where it gets problematic. See, and that's why David is here, because that's a very fine, refined answer to this, and I completely agree. And then I will read our UK bros. No comply is definitely a trick, agreed, but it's about spotting whether it was intentional. Also agreed. It's easier to pass off as a fail as a land. Also agreed, because your feet are already on the floor. True. It's about determining if it was intentional. So if it wasn't, it's a bail. Kinda agree, kinda don't.
Yes and no.
A bail is defined as missing a trick in the current rule system, and they are missing a trick. You either fall on your bum, which means -3 points, you lose contact with the board and it rolls away, it's -2, and missing a trick, it's where it gets fuzzy.
Especially with manuals.
Yeah, especially with manuals. For me, if the board flips and it lands on the what's called the dark side on the grip tape, it's usually a dead giveaway that this was not intended. You have smooth criminals like Timbo or Timbo comes to mind in terms of smooth criminal that can hide their mistakes, and I'm a person that's a little more lenient on that, maybe more than I should, but yeah. In longboarding, dancing, and freestyle, we even have tricks that have 5 steps. For me, that gets also a bit critical, but sometimes they have so much styles, so you have to respect them. That's also a thing, right? Skateboarding is as much... it's not like scoring a goal in soccer. And even they're starting to have contentions about that. But every skateboarder has a good gut feeling whether that was done purposely or not, right? And the judges in the committee definitely are capable of having their assessment whether that was a good trick or not. And that's why we also have more judges, because the answer is not to be found from a sole person, but for the community. And if they score it low, then they score it low. That's fine. That's why they're there. More than one step is pretty unnecessary for any trick. After that, you might as well not have a skateboard with you. Yeah, but Alex, you are not aware of the. I mean, obviously you're not longboarding, so you're not aware of that. But there are some, and I see that in our freestyle competition, there's still so much to explore in that regard. General run feedback, good footwork, but a bit choppy. Agreed. Not so many tricks or versatile tricks. Also agreed. Just they're missing a couple of things. Trying to use the music was obvious, but can improve. Yep. But this is also like due to the choppy skating, right? If you're that's also a tip I can give to competitors. If you have music and this is something that's important to you and you want to like maybe gain an edge at the expense of like technicality, don't go like staccato on it. Like obviously Martin grooved around and tried to feel it, and with like the added attention of competition, it's not always easy to get in the groove, and give yourself some leeway. You use the area a little. I mean, he's scoring there with the G-turns. I know it's a low bar for you as a longboarder, but yeah, slow flow. Yeah, being slow isn't an issue. If the song is slow and your overall skating is more like a relaxed, laid-back thing, then I think that's not the point. It was missing confidence. Yeah, that's the biggie, right? I'm happy that we have you on board, Alex. I personally try to do all my longboardings with only one sec because I like to make it difficult to see people have to respect it. But especially taking 2 steps can make it way more smooth and help gaining speed. Yeah, it has pros and cons, and if you go for it, you can also always send a clip and then have an opinion if you want to have a judge's opinion on that. Again, it's not set in stone, but yeah. Guys, should we score another one real quick? I don't want to bother you too much with the... I can do the run analysis also on my own, but I don't want to stress your time. Let's just do another one, shall we?
Yeah, let's do one more.
Yeah. Anyone in particular? Jakub, maybe? Jakub, let's go for Jakub. Are you guys ready to score?
Let me very quickly find Jakub. Yeah. Jakub Andrzej.
Jakub Jaśniewski. The most Polish name ever.
Yes, that's the one. Yes, already.
David, you ready? Jakub Jaśniewski, it's on the screen. Ready? Okay, let's go.
Let's be ready for some Caspers.
So give it up for Jakub from Poland.
Oh, his board is so crooked.
Started with a big spin.
Ooh.
That's beautiful.
Good stuff.
Beautiful execution as well.
Schade. Well, come on. You see, that's with the stationary. That's just
5, 6, 7 home.
Oh, come on, dude. See, I love stuff like, yeah, and the tail goes up, that's so cool. Love that stuff.
He misses the flip.
Oh la la! Is that a make or what? I don't know, dude.
A hand touch on the ground. I will give it a -1 and not a make.
Agreed. Wow! Fuck yeah!
That's beautiful.
Damn, he can be happy about that.
Yes. A perfect end of the run as well.
For the crowd, that's amazing.
You know, the judges will always remember the last trick the best.
That one, my gosh.
True.
The only person I ever saw flex at a contest like that was Primo Desiderio. He used to flex like that. But I think
And now
that trick
we
definitely
need to
deserved
rush
flex. But
because the
speaking
next
of
one
flex,
is
this guy's
already
got one
up.
trick. I've seen this guy
Yeah,
for years.
yeah.
He's getting better and better.
Time for
every
the
year.
sliders,
He's
for the
from
footwork.
Germany. And who is this? Sebastian.
I was missing some footwork.
Von den schönen Schottland. Auch mit denen haben wir schon
Run
einiges
composition.
durch, viele Events aufgebaut, viele Conteste gehabt,
Oof.
auch Staycamps.
Yes or no?
Der Junge nimmt alles mit, was er kriegen
Area
kann. Und genau
Tour.
so soll es auch sein. Ich freue mich auf jeden Fall
Confident.
mega auf den Run. Wir warten noch ganz kurz auf die Judges. Sobald der Daumen nach oben
We are
kommt,
waiting
It's
for
up to hard to hear the music on my side, so
Oh.
music choice with the synchronization is a little bit
Martin,
iffy.
looks like you got a well-deserved beer right there. We got the beer tent open over here, so
Submit.
definitely please partake in that if you choose to.
So I submitted my run. Did you guys submit as well?
It's a nice.
We're almost there.
And you guys see that on stream how difficult it is to do. Like the next one is up, and then just hammer in all the points. And oh, by God, hopefully you didn't like inputted the wrong name or something. So this is difficult, to say the least. David, you're ready? Yep. Then I'm gonna quickly check whether the scoring has its thing. Which I can confirm. And now, before I show the score, we're gonna hear from Kevin. Who did you have in first? We've seen 2 amateur runs that we scored. And which one do you think won over the other?
I think the Lucas run was scored a little bit higher. He has more difficult tricks. He has some like high points in some of the tricks he did, in my opinion, and I think that will give him the advantage. This one.
David? Who do you think, in comparison for Martin and Jakob, who won, and how big is the difference? Second, a little higher, our little Polish ball, a little higher. How much is little? Kevin, how much are they apart for you?
From a scale from 1 to 10, I think there will not be a lot difference. I think like a 2.
And you, David? What's a little higher?
Maybe 3 looking back. And what I see from Alex's reaction of the hand down, it's always such a situational thing where you have to make a quick decision, and you can see that everybody makes a different decision at that point. So
Yeah, dude. I'm a street skate. I started street skating, so Baker Maker is.
the Baker Maker, yes.
No, but honestly, I think a good deciding way is would he have fallen to the ground if the hand is there? If he put all his weight on there and would have fallen otherwise, then I don't count it. If it's just a brushing or like a quick boop and there's not like a lot of body weight, then so be it. Then I just scored the run like the trick borderline like 1 or 2 points and call it a day.
Yeah.
See, That's so interesting. David types, I asked him how much the runs are apart, and he said 1 or 2 points from 0 to, but I have no clue whether that I just will result in that. And you know, I haven't give my opinion. Yeah, I did the mistake and also always looked at the scoreboard, but Martin's run definitely has been choppier and less skillful, but it was arranged better, it was performed better. Yeah, but Jakub definitely is on another level in terms of technique, and also could somewhat compensate his usually bad side in the trick variety, so I also have to give it to Jakub. And yeah, Martin had a better composition, but Jakub did more difficult trick and he was more confident. 100% agreed. I mean, Jakub passed it, what's it called, like passed it off as being confident, but you could see it in the stiffness in the skating, and Martin obviously is also like stiff, like being a big dude and all that. But yeah, and how do I show now the
Martin lost 15 kilograms already.
Nice, dude. Happy he's working on himself. So
Proud of him.
Seeing the runs, we have them exactly 1 point apart from each other, and which is pretty close to David saying they are 1 or 2 points. And you can see, even I mean, we are pretty decisive in the, what's it called, in the how the standing should be, but this is really close, like 1 point. It's like one shove it apart. And while I disagree that being one shove it apart was, I think Jakub showed the better, definitely showed, G turns. It's a toss up. I don't know. I mean, Jakub definitely also had like a big bail and stuff, which comes into effect.
Yeah.
Maybe if I remember how to do it. Was it that? Yeah, this is my scoring. So for trick points total, it was 5 for me, which just seems upon first sight super low, but he missed a lot of tricks. Footwork speed, I gave him 3 points, which it was a little rushed. It was good to the track, but it was definitely a little rushed, and I would have been, I mean, that's like, for the music people among you, I would have preferred that he would have played in the pocket, like slightly behind the music, but yeah. And 3 is, they both, yeah, I'm a tricks guy, so I probably have Jakub just ahead, which now overall impression might be using the different also take into for people watching, the sliders are quantized, meaning that you don't, when a criteria gives 0 to 10 points, you're not picking like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're picking 2, 4, 6. Like, it's not that big of, but they are quantized. These are my scores. I'm obviously where do I have Jakub? Here is Jakub. So this seems more right. Sorry to confuse this. Trick points total 22. Minor bells -6. So quite that big of a deduction. Anything is when you see my fellow judges and also people in chat, if you see something disagree, just hammer it out straight out. Footwork speed, I preferred a little. It wasn't smooth at all, unfortunately. The variety wasn't there. I mean, he had some, like the turn in was there, and Yeah, but these are such staples in freestyle right now. Yeah. I mean, you can comb through this with a fine tooth, but yeah, minus bells, minus 4 for David. I had -6. Kevin had -1, medium bells -10. Why was there? I mean, technically this is the same score, right? Just on another. What's it called? You -6, -11 is quite big. Any reason in particular you scored that way, Kevin?
Yeah, the medium bills, in my opinion, he lost his board a few times, so I don't think that's a minor bill. That's a medium bill.
Yeah, and
A minor bill is like step off with your foot.
Yeah, and this is why we are doing stuff like this. It's tough to decide on the spot, but Kevin is in all his ways, and I would immediately sign off on that. So this is how we work. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's not what's it called? We are not sitting doing a secret cabal meeting.
No, no, and it's also if, in my opinion, something is a medium bill. If I give every bill a medium bill all across the board, then it still levels out.
Yeah, so we just picked up a new random thing. Rare new checks for Kevin's 3.5. 1.5 is on the low side, but yeah.
He has some innovative Casper tricks.
He has, yeah. There's depth in the trick, what's it called, in the trick category he chooses, but it's just that trick category, right? Where's my fucking score from Rhea? 4.5. So there's my usual me scoring a little too generous. Kevin being Kevin being in the middle, and David scoring a little low. And if you have a little low, a little if you have a little low, a little high, and a little being in the center, it all evens out. And there's not much more to it, what we do. I mean, obviously it's taxing, and you need to sit there and watch a million runs and crack your head over whether there's yeah, that's it. It's not what's it called? It's not it's as transparent as we can get, and I'm pretty sure if we have like 1 or 2 a year further down the pipeline and have like what's it called, further down the pipeline, we can also just send it out as is, or yeah. So I think this is good for like showing how the scoring works and like working together as judges. Francisco, I will answer this question right now. Just wanted to wrap up the judging panel. So, Kevin, is there anything you want to give out to our viewers or people who seen that, or something you like, something you don't like about the system, and just your thoughts about it?
Well, as the judging has been developing better and better, with the app adding to it, it's getting easier and easier to see everything, to follow everything, but it's always such a hard time. Like, you blink once and you miss a trick, you type a -2 instead of a -3. There's always something to get better with. But in the end, I see that the way we're using the app now, and we're getting the data almost every time we had the judging, we were happy with the result, and I think most of the people were as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a good base, and I just love working with it. Yeah.
Cool, man.
It's a difficult task, but it's a fun task to do as well.
Yeah, David, you can also type. I would like the same thing. What you like? What's your first impression? What is tough? What is good? And maybe you can write a little to it while I give my side. Also, sorry. Also, Kevin, I'm super happy that you help us with that, and such a smart dude, and I mean, it's clearly telling that you love freestyle, and I'm really happy that I have you. Not only I have the fortune to have you in my crew, which is good. Can I not? Can I?
Oh hell yeah! Oh hell yeah! Hell yeah!
But yeah, I'm so happy you are part of the judging, and whether you end up in the WFSC this year, we'll see.
We'll see. I'm happy. I'm down for it.
Yeah, that's good to hear, man. And I know I can count on
course.
you. So thank you for that, man. And thank you for taking your time tonight. And yeah, thanks, man. And if you have questions,
Yeah, no worries.
if you are just a Dutchie or something, gonna throw you under the bus, Kevin, here a little. Just reach out to us, and we can't always reply or in depth, but Kevin is a knowledgeable dude. He knows what he's talking about, and yeah, feel free to reach out.
Yeah, feel free to contact me. Always.
Nice, man. Thank you, man. So
No worries.
gonna read Davis real quick. As long as the final results are fine and we can argue our opinions, I would say everything is fine. And this is, I mean, not gonna do like a whole stunt on politics right now, but we need to work together. If we disagree, that's totally fine. And if we go a little heated and tell each other that we are stupid, that's also fine. But in the end of the day, we want to have a good experience for our skaters. We want to show a good show, and for the people that are coming watching with their families. And obviously we will have some people that's sticking out, who may fall through the cracks of the system and all that philosophical stuff. But it's good. We should focus together. And with the data, obviously it's not very satisfying. Most people want to have justice or the discussion right away, but we have a system that is capturing the performance of the skating, which is important. We can look at it. We have good judges that are willing to put their time in and their knowledge in, and this can only go forward. So for me personally, I love judging. I love I've been a little held back with the trash talking. Usually I'm more of a trash talker guy when I'm sitting up there, but it's a way for me to be really close to the people. I mean, competing in such an event is such an intimate thing to present your skating and what you worked on and your insecurities all up on there and what you like in terms of music, and such an intimate thing. And no matter how long I'm very happy to share that with you, and I'm really proud of everyone coming and living up to their potential. And yes, it will take some time to be able to show what you intended to do, but it's so worth it. And I'm very happy to join you guys alongside the way and provide as little knowledge as I can. So feel free to write us a message and ask us, hey, which point is what over the other, and we will go after the questions. You can ask all the questions you want. And I also want to thank David for, even though we had some technical issues, he said, I hope you had a voice of reason, and I have really big plans for you, my dude. I'm really happy that you joined our conversation, and that's also important to me, because I want to, after all, whether you're skating a longboard, a downhill board, a calf board, a slalom board, a surfboard, or a skateboard, street, whatever, our sport is so niche, and we are all the same types of people, and I'm always happy for such way of bridging gaps. And David, thank you for being with us and providing your knowledge, and I hope we can join Hamburg Longboard Open together. And yeah, I'm very happy to see you, man. And yeah, that's anything else you want to add, my dude, before I close this part of the segment and move on to the questions?
Yeah, it was a blast, Patrick, and thank you for doing everything as well.
Yeah, we should focus on finding similarities and connect the communities further in the future. Fucking man, mate. That's it.
Yes.
Thank you, my dude. So,
Right, thank you as well, and thank everybody who joined.
yeah, and we will. I will wait the feedback from you guys. Maybe you guys liked it, and this should be another rendition before the World Freestyle Skateboarding Championship comes up. Maybe we can do this again, maybe earlier in the day or later, depending on how the feedback goes. So, if you like that, if you want to see something different, just send us an email or DM or whatever, and we'll figure stuff out. So I don't know how many people are still here watching.
Total of 8.
Nice. More than I thought would watch.
All right. I have to dip.
Yeah, Kevin. Thank you, man. Bye bye.
That's right. Goodbye.
Bye, David. See you soon. So I'm quitting Discord. So this will conclude our panel. I hope this was a good way to see how stuff works. Again, this is all for a better understanding for your skating, but also for how things work for our side. And yeah, I hope you get something away. There was also a question from Francisco, which I want to ask about the scalewalk. How much would something like a scalewalk score? So a scalewalk, as I understand it, is basically like an ollie like an airwalk, just with the other hand. So it would scale among the same as an airwalk. An airwalk is definitely an ollie trick and a grab. So it's the technical difficulty about the scalewalk is when we take out the other hand and compare it to an airwalk, is obviously that you from an ollie standpoint, you want to be small and extend over, and usually you need your arms to do it, and having the confinement of doing it with the other way, you flex your hips. So it's definitely from the technique and from the what's it called, from the confinement you have in your body. That's the difficult part. I don't know if you agree or not. So I would score it around, I would give it 4 points, 4.5, 5-ish, depending on how well it's done. And to give this into a perspective, like an ollie tray flip, I would also give like 3, so it's like 1/3 better of that of a tree flip. But also comparing tricks across themselves from different techniques is difficult, because with doing a scalewalk, you're doing also like a rare trick, you have variety, and if push comes to shove, you can do the scalewalk. It will obviously win over the tray flip. So that's, but if you have questions like this, I'm happy to bounce back. And again, it's just my experience, you may disagree or not. So only 1.5 hours late. Oh, dude. So if there are any questions, feel free to put it in the chat, and before we wrap it up. Hard trick to explain for sure. A lot of tricks are hard to explain, man. Even a trick as simple as like a, I don't know, like a caveman drop or something, like picking your board in your hand and jumping on it is... Sometimes it's real. Skateboarding is definitely unusual, to say the least. Maybe I see Matthias, you're still in here, from Matthias from the East Frisian crew. Is there anything you like to ask, or any questions about upcoming things? Oh, I missed the chat on the screen. Why are the Masters run time longer than the younger amateurs? The run times of the Masters are intended to be longer, so they don't have to like rush their runs, so they can take a breather, like do a couple of things. Like Pedro does this well. Pedro Antunes. He's... I mean, some people belittle stepping off your board and doing like literally dancing, but it's a way to center yourself. And I mean, I'm pushing 40, so I wouldn't know how it is to skate in an aging body, but the idea is to give them more time to. And most of them are still, I mean, considering most of them are older-ish pros, still have a lot of tricks to show. This year there will also be tricks with jump rope and other surprises. I get asked this a lot, whether, I mean, obviously you're not gonna score more points with using a jump rope. There's a good way of doing it and there's a wrong way of doing it. If people are doing the jump rope thing for the sake of the jump rope, then it's different than doing it in a context of skating. For me personally, my line is, if you can do your tricks without the skateboard, then it's not a skateboard trick. If the trick, you know what I mean? If it's the same with or without the skateboard, then there's the dividing line. If the skateboard itself doesn't change the equation, then that's where I draw the line. For handstands, for example, are a thing where you could say, okay, doing a trick handstand on the skateboard or doing it without the skateboard sorta is the same, but I talk to people that are very firm in handstand and they explained me what's the difference in doing the handstand by itself and how the skateboard equates into the difficulty, and then I'm totally fine with that. So that's where I draw the line. Would an intuition be 1 point? It's a continuation of the scarewalk motion and half a flip. So you're basically doing a finger flip after the scarewalk? Any flip is like it. With flips, it's basically counting. One resolution is 1 point. That's pretty straightforward. So a 360 shove it, 2 resolutions, 2 points, and then maybe one more for if it's done rolling or extremely high or long or whatever. So that's pretty easy to grasp. We also have a big discussion on that in longboarding regarding dancing and dancing with the board. Yeah, it's a different. The difference between freestylers and longboarders in terms of steps is freestylers like to manipulate the board. That's also why they are shorter, right? Because it's easier to like do a walk the dog. You are not doing much with the feet. You are manipulating the board. And longboarders like to manipulate themselves to make the board do a certain thing. So they like to do body wobbles, pirouettes. They like to do like the carving and stuff. And I think this also is why the boards are getting longer, because they're doing more steps. But I think the argument is you can do either or, I guess. Yeah, guys, it's getting late. It's almost 11 o'clock. I'm very happy that the technical side worked out the way it did, and I'm happy that people joined, and I hope you are not mad if I'm calling it a day now. So yeah, this was super fun. I was kind of hesitant doing it and a little anxious. I thought nobody would watch it, but I had a blast, and I hope we could relay some useful information. And if we didn't, we tried, right? And if you have questions, shoot us a DM, and maybe we are doing this again. And yeah, dude, thank you so much, and we will see us super quickly. Time's flying by. So yeah, happy to see you in the World Freestyle Skateboarding Championships this year. Bye.